Just one big joke. It's a fucked up world. Here we are in. I ain't going nowhere.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Reason Reborn, episode 23. I'm here with the titillating Cardiacsumo. Sir, how are you?
Surviving day by day.
How's the coding going, by the way?
How about you fuck off?
I mean, look, I'm trying to give you a platform and just go on a little epic rant here, just to blow off some steam before we go into the maddening news. I'm just trying to help you.
I certainly will not do that. I have people out there, just waiting to get some video clip of me saying some shit. You're
a smart man. You're a very smart man because you know when not to say shit, because there's actually a story that we're not covering, but I want to just jump into real quick. So the NCAA men's basketball championship happened last night, and Villanova Wildcats won. Congratulations to you guys if you're a Villanova fan. In particular, there was a standout player who got the most outstanding player because he literally carried the team on his back to victory almost. At one point, like, they were down by 7, and he alone scored like 16 out of 18 points or something like that. And he just went nuts. He had the game of his life, game of his college career. So he's the most outstanding player. His name, I forget his first name, but his last name is DiVincenzo, Italian-American kid from, I believe, Delaware. Really good player. Problem happens this morning when everybody realized that, oh shit, he's deleted his Twitter. Why? Well, apparently after he became most outstanding player, somebody started throwing out old tweets of his in which he profusely used the N-word in referring to African Americans, or like in rap or rap lyrics. I forget exactly what they said. No one knows now because, hey, it's deleted. He deleted his whole Twitter account. Once he became like in the news and people found that out, he completely deleted. So
who's this guy again?
His name is DiVincenzo. He's the shooting guard for Villanova Wildcats. But just look, Villanova guard deletes Twitter, you'll see it. And he, of course, said, well, I don't ever recall ever using the N-word. But again, who is going to know because he deleted shit? So
fair enough. I mean,
so he caused a little bit of trouble, but that's an example of what my man Cardiac is doing. Don't say shit that you don't want coming back to haunt you, because you never know when there's a moment where that shit gets spotlighted. So just a friendly reminder.
To say whatever you want, just acknowledge that there will be consequences. I do say fairly obviously political stuff here, so I'm not generally that shy about that type of shit.
Yeah. No, but I mean, even if it's non-political, there are just certain things that you probably shouldn't share. We've talked about this before. People share too much shit on their social media. Like, I should not know more about your life and have never met you than I do about people who I've grown up around for over 20, 30, 40 years, So
it's a weird place to navigate. I mean, you see pictures of people put up like hundreds to thousands of pictures of their kids, and it's like, does the kid have a say in whether these pictures, you put their whole life on the internet before they even could speak, pretty much? Technology is a weird place that we're still trying to navigate here.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. So I guess the first thing we should talk about is this story that I found that just popped up today, where there was a female shooter at the YouTube headquarters in California. She is dead. She wounded 3 people. What the hell is going on with people these days?
She's basically anything more about it? Because I know you only just sent me that story, and I just only heard about it like a couple minutes ago. So,
well, apparently she had known one of the victims, so it must have been a targeted attack. She came to the headquarters Tuesday, and then opened fire, and then took her own life. So they haven't really been really open with all the details, telling like victims and everything like that. But yeah, condolences to the families of the victims. Luckily, nobody got killed.
Her, I guess. And we don't even know why she did it. Apparently, she could have just been suffering some psychotic break or something like that. Not that I'm condoning going shooting a bunch of motherfuckers, but
no. Like I don't like. I guess maybe I mean, I hate to say it this way, but maybe I have to be in that moment to actually understand what really makes a person want to just go off and just kill a bunch of people. Or like, I guess if this was if someone that she knew that got shot, it would make a little bit more sense, because maybe she was just going after a particular person that she didn't like, and like the other two people just happened to be around, maybe. But like, I've never understood the like mentality that just makes someone wants to go, I'm just gonna murder everybody because fuck it, why not? I hope I never understand that mentality. I never feel compelled to do some shit like that in my life. For real.
Fucking weird.
That's crazy, but nothing, of course, can beat Donald Trump, who's the craziest of them all. Hey, he always has to make a scene. So there were a couple of stories of note that he did over the week. I mean, he's always doing something. That's the thing. It's not like a week that you can go by. In fact, there was an article I saw 3 or 4 days ago that had 20 stories that you might have missed since the week started. And I'm like, the fuck? I think it was like on a Wednesday they sent this. I'm like, it's just a Wednesday. What do you mean? It's 20 stories. Like, that's ridiculous. But
I remember you sent it to me, but I was like, no, it's too soon.
It's like, it's too much. Too fucking much. We just recorded. It actually, that article came up right after we finished recording an episode. And it's like, goddamn, what is going on? But of note, of course, he called out the DACA issue again. He claims that there'll be no DACA because the Democrats don't want DACA and they're not playing fairly again. What a surprise there, right?
I just don't understand how we can get away with these bold-faced lies. This notion he keeps spreading that the Democrats are, fucking over these immigrants. They don't want DACA. That is like their thing right now, that they want DACA. They're pretty. I know some people are probably disappointed with them, I guess, not holding the government hostage to get this DACA thing going, but that is a major priority for them, to be fair.
Like, he wasn't going to sign a bill, and he tried to blame it on DACA when it actually was because they didn't fund the money for the wall in the new spending bill for the government. It's like he didn't want to keep the government open, and tried to emotionally blackmail people with DACA. And then he comes back after he signs it. It was like, there just never will be DACA. We're not going to ever do DACA because Democrats clearly don't want this. And it's like, dude, you've been propping DACA up as this, consolation prize for getting this money for the wall. It's bad blackmail because everybody knows what your intention is, and you're not really emotionally manipulating anybody because everybody already knows your position. You said no wall, no DACA. So it's not like you're coming up with this new like heartfelt change in policy where you all of a sudden now feel like DACA is the most important thing that you need to get accomplished in your presidency. It's the wall. It's always the wall.
I do wonder how many people he's actually reaching with this crazy ass rhetoric here. Like, again, like you said, we know his position, and he's not even really changed it. He is still kind of saying shit like, "I want that wall" and stuff. It's who does he think this is reaching, and who is it actually reaching?
Yeah. Just like he had 2 points on the wall over the past week. The first being the military is going to pay for the wall. He decided that the military should take funding that they were given and spend it on building this wall, and then the government will pay the military back. which I don't know how that works. How are they going to pay you back money I already gave you? So again, who are you fooling? You don't have to give that money back. They have a budget that you approve every year. And
it's weird to even talk about that like it's a serious idea being broached. Like, I mean, maybe he's saying it seriously, but he just says random shit, and then we have to talk about it like it's very serious.
That's the thing. You kind of have to take this serious because today he doubled down on the whole military and the wall thing by saying, we'll have the military patrol the borders.
Until the wall is up, right?
He wants to reactivate soldiers who are off, who are not in, commissioned anymore, to put them on the fucking wall.
Yeah.
Why?
I mean, all these.
First of all, there's no wall, so how is he going to put them on the wall? That's one thing I wanted to see.
Was it the wall? I
think he said. Well, he may have said border patrol, but I feel like he wants them to patrol the wall as well.
I thought his point was to put them out there, like while this wall is being built, until that happens.
But what is that going to do differently?
I mean, no matter which way you go, I have to go back and read that shit again. But no matter where he was with that thing, it's not like it made that much sense anyway.
Yeah. I'm very, very confused by his whole, just the whole fucking stance of that.
So who in the government is backing him when he says shit like this? Is there anybody? I mean, I know you have your hard Trump supporters, but is there anybody of real note, like a Paul Ryan or somebody who really jumps up and says, yeah, we're doing exactly what he just said?
Nobody of outside of maybe the crazies like Orrin Hatch and things like that.
The reason I ask that is because he does this a lot. He'll just say shit as though he's introducing policy or something, and it seems to be a shock to even people in his office that he's saying this. It's not like he's coming to an agreement with his team or he's broached this with them or they even know about it. He just kind of says it, and then they're just like, wait, what? What are we doing? What the fuck's happening?
Yeah, he just hits everybody out of left field, and it's weird. I guess they're all just used to the shoulder shrug and like that. Oh, Donald, I guess. But it's just like, where do you come up with these ideas? Just like I just saw now, there's breaking news that the U.S. proposes 1,300 Chinese good tariffs. Apparently, is from the short summation that I've read on it, things that are on the list are artificial teeth, flamethrowers. There's actually a full list of things that he wants to put on this,
There's not flamethrowers on that list. Come on.
No, there's flamethrowers on their list, sir. He wants to tax fucking flamethrowers.
You are so full of shit.
I wish I were fucking full of shit. And this man put flamethrowers. No Chinese barbecue for you, sir.
So a little background if people haven't been paying attention to this. Obviously, when was it, like a month or so ago, Trump started going at this whole idea of a trade war with China because trade wars are good and they're easy to win. So his opening gambit was, I believe, tariffs on steel and aluminum, which it is questionable how effective that was going to be with China anyway. And by questionable, I mean not really that effective at all. But in response, China has put up some tariffs on a bunch of goods. I believe, I can't remember any of them off the top of my list, like certain fruits and stuff.
Which is, I guess, sort of more tangible. Although just scrolling through this list, I see things like vaccine for human medicine, vaccines for veterinarian medicine, human blood is getting a tariff. What the fuck?
So to put it simply, Trump put out that first shot.
Heels and stoppers. Okay.
Trump put out that first shot. We got a retaliation from China, and as people have, analysts have been noting, these tariffs from China seem pretty strategic, as though they're politically motivated to attack Trump's base in particular to make their costs go up, which is it is impressive, I guess, how calculating China is being with their tariff retaliation for Trump's actions here. And now I guess Trump, I assume he's pushing this, is retaliating back again. So this is what happens with a trade war, right? You have back and forth tariff increases and whatnot, and it spirals out of control. I'm hoping this stops. It's not really good for us.
Yeah, and it's funny because I've sent you the list, and going through most of it, it's part. I guess someone must have had a hand in like making sense of this list, because some of the stuff, it looks like there's stuff, machinery, which can probably be used for building war products and stuff like that. Like I saw turbines for naval things and all of that.
As a matter of fact, even those tariffs on steel and aluminum,
some construction stuff. Yeah.
First started this. Did anybody know he wanted to do that shit?
No, that came out of left field. It all of these things, like you said, that sound like policy. He never prepares anybody. He just says, "We're going to do this. Do it."
Right.
And that's why we get this like hodgepodge list. Whereas China, they waited. They were like, "Oh, you're going to do that? Cool." And they sat and they meticulously went through things that they think would be the worst for us to have tariffs on.
Which is, you can commend the Chinese strategy for that. But what I was really getting at is that we shouldn't be here in the first place. Again, the reason I went over that brief, very vague description was to point out that Trump kind of went at this first, seemingly without consulting anybody. He just said, "We're going to get into a trade war with China, hooray." Again, not really consulting anybody, but more to the point, his strategy was never going to be all that effective anyway. I'm almost surprised China bothered to retaliate, because it's not like this should have hurt them all that badly.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, they have the muscle to do it, and that's the thing. I understand why they do it, because it's like, yeah, they probably don't have to do it, but it's sometimes good to smack, the hand of that child that's always trying to test you. It's like, yeah, that child's just, maybe kicking your chair, and it's not bothering you that much. But every now and then, it's kind of good if you're sitting in front of that child to just drop your seat back if you're on an airplane and just like crush the fucking knees, just to like hear them squeal.
And I'm sure politically they had a reason to do it too, just so they didn't look weak in their own country. Like,
yeah, and that's the thing.
America's doing this. We can't, they can't look like punks to their own citizens. Even though I don't think it would have that much of an effect on them, really. There are political motivations for them doing that, and now here we are clapping back, and it is not going well.
Yeah, because that clapback can't be that strong. And I sent you a list that has less stuff, it gives more clear, definitive things that are on that list. Cash registers, fire extinguishers, flamethrowers, seismographs, artillery weapons, or some of the other.
Oh shit! And you got this from CNN too, so it's fairly legitimate.
It's legit. Yeah, I sent you the official list, and I sent you the CNN truncated one that just highlighted certain things.
And as silly as this might look to a lot of us, he has said it plainly that he wants this trade war. He feels like we can win, that it's easy to win, his words, and that it will be good for us.
We can't. He fails to realize, and again, this shows you how stupid this man is, because he owns companies that utilizes foreign manufacturing and shipping. He fails to realize how dependent a lot of American business is on foreign product and trade.
Sure.
How a man with companies that delve in foreign product and trade don't seem to know that, I don't fucking know. But he's pulled it off as being the one man on earth who clearly has no fucking clue.
As a matter of fact, was he able to do this type of thing in his own power? Does he have to clear this type of thing with anybody? Yeah, this is a question about presidential power. Like how those steel tariffs, this proposal for these
if he
tariffs,
makes it
how
an
is he doing
executive
that?
order, then yes, he can clear it,
Okay.
barring a Congress getting together and saying no, this is stupid, and voting it out. Congress always has the right to vote out an executive order. Don't ever forget that, people. Just because the president gives an executive order doesn't mean that it's etched in stone. Obama had what was it, like 20 overturned right before he left office, or something crazy like that, like the month before he left office. So no, they can at any time decide this is stupid and write it off the books.
No, I ask because as much as he comes out of left field with this stuff, it does make you pause and think. The fact that he even can do this sort of stuff, I'm not saying a president should not be able to. Maybe, you know, the powers of the president seem more benign if they're not in the hands of a crazy person. But it is surprising to me that one, he can think to do stupid shit like this, but more to the point that he actually can just do stupid shit like this on a whim.
Yeah, and generally speaking, he gets the fuck away with it, it seems, because they don't seem to be pushing back that much when it comes to these things.
He's got him off balance, man.
The more time goes on, the less I believe that. I just feel like they just don't. I still feel like they're still in that we can still use him to get what we want. Just keep holding on, and we'll get exactly what we want in the midst of all of this. Because there's always things passing that we hear about that kind of get dwarfed by the magnitude of his like craziness. Just like I just found out today that guy, this Dutch lawyer, was sentenced for lying to investigators in the Mueller investigation. You know, a Dutch lawyer, a foreign-born lawyer. He's the fourth person to get convicted in this whole thing. And it's like, wow, I honestly didn't know 4 people got convicted. I know a bunch of people had pled guilty, but convicted, it's like, but you don't hear that because the loud roar of Trump's stupidity just reigns over fucking everything. You know, and if it's not that, then it's something really bizarre like the Stormy Daniels thing, which all of a sudden gains more magnitude than it probably should ever have gotten. But it's just one of those big deals because it's like this guy does so much shit. I swear if he was to like pick his nose and wipe a booger on the counter, somebody saw it, that would be a news story.
I mean, well, to be fair to that Stormy Daniels thing, there is some serious legal implications there.
There are. There's very serious legal implications, but it's just like things like this just used to be quiet rumors that you didn't find out until years later when somebody wrote an expose book. We've had how many books written about what's going on in this administration?
I was just thinking about that. You look up on, you know, Amazon or whatever places books are sold, and you see like a new book every month or so. It's like,
yeah,
people are really cashing in on this. Like, hell, even just for this podcast, I've gone through 2 different books based around Trump. One was that Michael Wolff book, Fire and Fury. The other was Trumpocracy.
Yeah,
and I've seen at least half a dozen other ones. Like,
yeah, there was just one that was recently announced last week. I forget the name of it, but yeah. There's just always something.
People are, I mean, I'm the fucking stupid one because I haven't written a book on this shit. That's me. That's my problem. Everybody else is smart and they're making money on this.
Yeah, like speaking of which, Michael Wolff, I sent you that clip of him on the Daily Show. And we were talking about this a little bit about how his credibility and all of that. And I just like found it fascinating that months later, this guy is still getting interviews about this damn book. Is still able to sell this book. Like you said, you don't really buy his credibility, which I can understand.
Well, to be clear, it's not like I think he's. I'm certain a lot of the shit in that book is true, which is saddening. I don't tend to trust him that much, but I mean, you just look at everyday life in the Trump presidency, and the things he describes in that book are not surprising. They are saddening, but they're not shocking for the most part.
Yeah. No, like I was saying, I feel like he gives himself like a little leeway in the fact that he came out in that interview and was like, I'm surprised people keep letting me in places to write these books because I've written a ton of books like this. Why are y'all still letting me talk to you? I don't know, but okay, I'll do it and I'll make money off of it. He's at least open and honest about, I'm just in it to cash in on this shit, on your drama.
Maybe the president thought it was going to be a positive book. I mean, he doesn't read, so who knows?
And again, I have to agree with Michael Wolff in the fact that he's stupid.
I mean, well, it's not even just that he's stupid, but he's really destabilized the office. So when people say, well, why did they let this guy in? It's not like they are on such solid ground that they can really do
exactly.
this.
Because he was saying like, this is a but what did he call them? I forgot what he called them exactly, but he basically called them a house full of idiots because he was just like, none of these people read books and none of them know that I, write these types of books. They were letting me have conversations with them and all this stuff. Like you have to have somebody have told you who he was, what he does.
The place, for one, is filled with a lot of people who have no experience in this sort of thing. They're not qualified. On top of the fact that they're not organized either. So yeah, when everybody says like, why would they let this Wolff guy in? Because they weren't smart enough not to. They didn't know enough. This is not like, for some of them, their everyday type of job where they have years of experience and they're too busy running around with their heads cut off. Partially because their president says something crazy every 5 fucking minutes. So
yeah.
It's kind of a little bit of slack there. They're dealing with a lot.
Yeah,
but they're ill-equipped to handle.
I guess we can give him some sympathy, but it was just weird. Also, I found it funny how he made that mention about how he'd said in the interview that he thinks the president is currently sleeping with somebody who works for him in the office, which I laugh because I've always thought of the one person that he's probably fucking since she's shown up on the scene. He wouldn't say who it is, but I'm pretty sure most people have a good idea of who it probably is that he's fucking, which is a disgusting thought, to be quite honest.
Mike Pence.
Yeah. Oh my God. I wonder if Mike Pence calls him mother too.
I mean, that type of thing is what hurts his credibility with me. It's like, why? You're not willing to say who it is or give any evidence to back it up, by the way. So it's kind of a serious thing that I remember when he did that on Maher's show, Real Time with Bill Maher or whatever. And I saw him do that. I'm like, why are you doing this? Like your credibility is already not that strong just based on the type of book this is. And you're just kind of, you're dirtying the waters for no good reason. It's a little gross. I don't know. I didn't think it was a good strategy because other interviewers with him brought that shit up that he did that, and it did not tend to go well for him.
Yeah, and but I also think that he, from his demeanor, he doesn't seem to care because it's like, yo, I'm a sleaze bag. I'm known as a sleaze bag. What the fuck are you gonna discredit my reputation? I think he just seems very, very comfortable in his own skin to where that doesn't bother him. Which again, part of it makes me like have like a level of believability in what he says because he knows who he is, he knows what he does, he knows who he knows his place. He's comfortable. You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, I guess that's a fair point. Most of us would have the desire to keep our reputation clear, but
yeah,
I guess if yours is already dirty, you might not care.
Yeah, it's like you either believe me or don't. You buy the book or don't. He seems to have that opinion. He doesn't. It's funny because he sells his book well, but he doesn't really seem to be selling it. It just seems like it's just something. Yeah, I did it, and you want to pay me for it? That's fine. I'll tell you. I mean, he's just very blasé about it, which helps lends to the believability factor for him. Definitely, because again, most people they don't want to. They need to frame themselves And like most authors would probably be like, I had to do this book because the people needed to know and all that. Like, no. They let me in. They talked. I told.
It's gonna be weird, like maybe 30 years from now, when you have some political historians, or maybe 50, however long we're looking back on this, and you have these authors that are gonna be referencing this fucking book.
I know. It's strange. Very, very strange. What was the other story that I wanted to bring up to? And this is going to be a kind of short show. I'm kind of shortening the politics too because I want the lengthy part to be the surprise part that Cardiac has no fucking clue about. Was there one more stupid story this man does? Because he does so many stupid things.
Talked about trade war stuff.
Yeah, we talked about the trade wars.
Touched on the border wall a little bit, which border wall in DACA, which he's making pretty much the same issue.
Well, we didn't mention this little scare that Wall Street had when Amazon and a couple of tech companies had a dip. Thankfully, today they all kind of came back. But part of that was due to the fact that Trump decided over the weekend to go after Amazon and talk about how they're destroying the U.S. Post Office with their deal for shipping. Fun fact, Amazon spent over $20 billion in U.S. postal shipping last year as a loss. It wasn't, there was no gain. So how they're destroying the post office, I have no idea. I know how the post office is destroying the post office by the fact that they have kind of shitty service, inordinate prices, and the fact that nobody fucking writes letters anymore like they used to.
Which is good. We don't need to waste paper and kill trees, man. But
like, I laugh every time I go to the post office because I pay my rent with a money order, and I usually get it from the post office because they're generally the cheapest. And they're always asking, do you need any stamps or envelopes? I'm like, no. I fucking got a computer. I pay my bills online. I always click the eco-friendly option to not send me a paper bill because I don't want to keep getting a bunch of envelopes that all I'm going to do is fucking throw away anyway because I'm going to pay it online. I'm not sending you a paper check for somebody to steal out my mailbox or anything like that. So, I'm good. And to be quite honest, that $20 billion that Amazon is giving them is what's keeping the post office alive. All these deals that they make with these vendors is what's keeping the post office alive. And Christmas, the people mail a lot of stuff during Christmas. That is the only reason why the post office is probably still around. Oh, well, my bad. And the government funding.
Sure. This is another example of this fucking problem. Right? He just says whatever wild shit he wants. And one, we have to talk about it. And I don't mean us. I mean just like society, news, the world has to talk about it. And two, it has consequences. Like you just mentioned it, the drop in the stock market because he did that shit. It's
yeah.
I don't think he and a lot of people respect the power a president's words has. When the president says shit, it can have major implications domestically with shit like that. Internationally, if you could piss off other world leaders, and it's extremely problematic with somebody like him who just says whatever wild shit is on his mind at any given moment because he keeps us in this horrendous state of chaos when he does that.
Yeah, and it doesn't just touch one thing, because one of the things that has been the problem in the after effects of his comments was 401ks dropped a lot. In fact, I was at work and people were talking about it at work, and a couple were saying, yeah, my 401k dropped below more than 10% after that shit. And it's like, so now you're fucking with people's retirement plans because you put this ripple through the stock market where the stock market made this really bad, dip. And for those who don't know, 401ks are predicated on you taking money and giving them out of your paycheck for them to invest in different stocks and commodities so that if they're doing well, you have more money. And once it gets to a certain point of whatever your timeline for your 401k is where, it's time to withdraw, it'll be predicated on how well their investments have went. And he fucked with that. He fucked with a lot of people's 401ks. A lot of people lost a lot of money on their retirement funds because this idiot is indulging in a trade war with the biggest creditor that is the biggest creditor that America owes, and he's fucking with one of the largest, if not the largest, company in the world, as well as other tech companies, and their stock value and worth. So it's like I don't get it. Like why does he not have that inside monitor that I believe most of us have, which makes us pause and really think about what we're about to do or say and whether or not it's worth it or not?
Either he's that stupid, or I hate to indulge in conspiracy theories and shit, but I'm starting to think he's just doing it on purpose to just destabilize us. I don't want to, again, but this dude must be a Russian agent or something. Like, there's no reason that he does this type of stuff, especially because he's supposed to be so business smart. He's fucking up business in America now. The one thing he's supposedly supposed to be able to do right. So, on some level, this has to be on purpose, because I just can't believe somebody's that stupid. And I mentioned the danger of a stupid president's words a moment ago, but don't let that take away from the fact that as a president, it's not his fucking place to be doing this in the first place. It's not the president's place to be attacking private businesses in that way, especially singling out particular private businesses like Amazon, especially for the reason he's doing it. He's not doing it because he gives a shit about the post office. He's doing that because, what's his name, Bezos or whatever, also owns the Washington Post. Yeah, I was about to say the Huffington Post, but the Washington Post. And they are, like most rational people, critical of Trump, and he doesn't like that, so he's just going at them from all sides. And you can say that's an unfair view, but like Black was explaining, his claims that Amazon is hurting the post office is absolute nonsense.
Yeah.
Absolute nonsense.
Yeah.
Their symbiotic relationship is helping them both. That's why they have it. If it was hurting the post office that bad, they just wouldn't do it.
Yeah, and more to the point, he seems to forget that Amazon is actually trying to get out of that deal, because that's why they've came up with the drone technology and why he's looking into purchasing his own shipping facilities. Again, businessman who knows everything. You didn't pay attention to the fact that Bezos has already said that they would like to do their own shipping in some capacity. If I'm getting over on the post office, why the fuck would I want to leave that relationship?
I mean, there's no defense for it because it was just plain wrong to begin with. And no matter, hopefully somebody is trying to explain that to him. But again, the point isn't that he really thinks that. I don't know if he does or not, but that's not the point. The point is to attack the owner, Bezos, which is not something a president should do. A president should not be attacking private citizens or private businesses. That's not your fucking place. And if you feel like this is a problem, there's proper channels to deal with that. To be dealing with business entities like that. We have rules and regulations or new regulations that can be enacted. If you feel like this is a problem, go through those routes. It's not your place to do this. You're not a private citizen anymore. You're the president. You need to act like one.
Yeah, no, he's putting people through hell for no reason. Like, like he's causing problems. Like, just holding up the program.
Those people in government will really get at this point, because we're all too accustomed to the fact that he has the freedom to say whatever the fuck he wants on Twitter, and that's great. But he is way overstepping lines here that a president should not be stepping over. I'm really adamant about this point, that as a president in particular, he should not be doing this type of stuff.
No, he should.
I'm not saying it's illegal or anything, but some of the things he says is a little legally dubious. But generally, stay in your fucking lane. Don't do that.
Yeah, no. Honestly, he's the Vince McMahon of politics right now. It's like everybody around him, a bunch of like experienced people in the business who are letting this one guy run the fuck amok and fuck up the whole entire program. He's holding back the Daniel Bryans of the world. You know, he's making people like Roman Reigns end up being like scapegoats for his bullshit choices and all of that. You know, he's making AJ have shit matches until now. Finally, he gets Shinsuke. And shit like that. He's fucking propping up Jinder Mahal, which is, I guess, fucking Putin would be Jinder Mahal, and trying to sell the world to him. And like, no, we don't want the fucking. Please hinder Jinder. God damn it.
I'm sure Jinder would love that. You feel like he's the biggest heel in the company in the last 50 years.
Yeah, but and to be fair, I don't have a real issue with Jinder.
I
thought that him coming out as a heel and stuff like that benefited him. But he was, again, another case of I'm trying to push something up because I feel like this is going to make me a lot of money just because it keys to a certain market when this guy has no reason being where he is. Yet you got fucking Rusev, who should be where he was and should have been where he was, not in that spot.
I like how this turned from an analogy to like a wrestling rant. I don't have a problem with it, but
no, you shouldn't have a problem with it because that's a surprise. We are ending this show with our WrestleMania predictions. That is why I did this long segue, sir. To set that up. Bam, you're welcome.
Are we hopping into that now? Because there's a couple other stuff that happened, but plus I need to pull up WrestleMania card.
We can talk about the other two. No, I got the card up, so don't worry about it. But what were the other two things? A couple of things that you wanted to mention before we get into the real reason why you guys are going to be here.
Well, what is it? This withdrawal from Syria that we're set. What is the word I'm looking for? This withdrawal from Syria that we're supposedly going to be doing. What the fuck is he talking about?
I don't know because I'm trying to figure out what serious presence do we have in Syria. We do have some bases. We have some advisory people. It's not like this is Iraq or anything like that. We don't have a lot of boots on the ground. This isn't Afghanistan. We don't have people doing missions and going out with, you know, the local indigenous forces. So what are we pulling out?
But I guess even to take a step back, who knew he was going to say this shit? Again, like, this doesn't seem like a policy decision that the entire group of them came up with. It feels like he's just saying shit. And we just have to wonder how serious he is. I don't know who it was, but somebody on the news, I saw it today. They said something like, when the president says something, we just kind of have to wait to see if there's really any follow through because his words hold no weight, essentially. And I was like, this is the most depressing statement I've ever heard, is that when the president says something, you pretty much just have to wait and see because you're not sure if he's full of shit or not.
Yeah, no, and I understand there's been like a bunch of attacks and things going on in Syria and stuff like that, but at no point during all of this madness, even when Russia, even when we hit Russia properties and stuff like that, there's been no mention of, oh, we need to get away from this country at all from this administration. And all of a sudden now, yeah, no, we're not doing the Syria thing no more.
And there's strategical reasons, as far as I understand, not to just pull out of Syria. I'm sure Russia wants a piece of that action to establish a foothold there. Yeah, I'm sure Iran wants a piece of that. Like, there's reasons not to fucking do that. But again, I can't even seriously analyze this decision because, one, I'm not sure how serious it is, which is concerning. And two, I'm not sure if anybody's really going to back him doing this. Plus, I just wonder what kind of position it puts any soldiers that are in Syria in. If, you know, you have these bad actors out there that just heard the president say, we're leaving, is that going to animate them to do crazy shit now because they believe these guys are going to leave anyway? So
they're like, oh my God, America's leaving. Please don't. We'll play nice. Like, I think Syria is probably fed up with us. If anything, if we do have some type of presence there, they're probably like, good, fine, you ain't doing shit anyway. I honestly don't get that, but I mean, that's our
This
president's
is a
position.
guy that said, you know, I'm not going to reveal what our military strategy and shit is. You just say it like this moment you feel like it. You don't even give us time to know what the fuck you're going to do. Like, this shit is absolutely insane. Your camera went out there, but I don't know what to think about the fact we're
it
doing
didn't go out. I had to go grab something.
No, it's fine, but I think that's one of the dangerous things about him, because I remember when he was running, people were like, he has this sort of lunatic aspect to him that's going to keep our enemies off guard. One, that strategy doesn't work as well as you think, especially when the person is actually crazy, because it's one thing to say that our enemies can't predict what he's going to do, but neither can we, and that's kind of the fucking problem. Is that
exactly? It's like you can do all that like off guard. Like, I'm mind fucking you. Yeah, you're mind fucking us too. I don't know what the fuck is going on. Like, how am I supposed to predict? Just like, what was that a few weeks ago that he announced? The tariffs. No, actually, the tariffs. Yeah, they told him, don't do that shit. We're not ready for this. He announced it. And his whole staff was like, yo, we need to like work this out first before you say anything about anything like that. Like, we get it. You like the idea. Can we at least game plan this first? And see like how we should attack this? Nope. I'm just announcing.
So I don't understand what people think, that this is smart, that we have this leader who's keeping them on their toes. No, we are on our toes. I'm not sure how bothered I'm sure other nations are a little bit on their toes too, but part of the problem is those other nations are also our allies. They don't know what the fuck we're going to do. I remember, hearing on the news people say that when we expelled those 60 Russians from the country last week or so, that the other countries were kind of relieved, but sort of surprised. They don't understand what we're doing either. We don't know what's going on. Our allies don't know what's going on. It's not a good fucking situation.
No, or like Canada. Remember when the tariff talk came up and Canada was like, yeah, we don't need this. Why do you want to put these on the what? Like, this is like everybody's just like, wait, we thought we were supposed to be cool. What the fuck? Now you want to tariff the world? Like, come on, dude.
Yes. Being crazy is not as good a strategy. I don't know why anybody thought it was a particularly good strategy. There is something to be said for being a little unpredictable, but that is not what he is.
No, not in politics. There's being unpredictable in politics is not a good thing unless it's like, you know how people love to call John McCain a quote unquote maverick because they don't know exactly always what he's going to vote. That's a way of unpredictability that makes sense, simply because if you don't know what your feelings are and you're trying to listen to both sides of the debate, and then at the end you make the choice that everybody thinks that you aren't going to make, okay, fine. But at the same time, your whole choice was still preference off of you've listened to both sides of the argument, and either you always leaned one way or you had a change of heart. That's fine. I'm comfortable with that. I don't need you throwing out major, like, world-changing, life-changing policies at the drop of a hat with no thought, no research, nothing. I'm pretty sure that he didn't have meetings of council with people on this shit. He just fucking does that shit.
No, and again, you see that it's dangerous all the time. That stock market issue was another example of that. Nobody knows. The reason it's volatile is because you just don't know what the fuck he's gonna do. Ever. It makes investors very concerned. That's part of the reason we have these problems.
Yeah, and that's why the stock market is going nuts this year, because it's like we don't know what to do. Like, are we secure or are we not secure financially? What is it we have to protect from? we don't know because any moment this dude dropping a hat. Fuck it.
So insanity is not usually a good strategy. Just want to stress that for anybody who wants to follow in this guy's footsteps. It's not good. I don't know if we talked about Ingram last week, but
no, I don't think we did. Oh, and there was something else I just thought of too. But did we? No, we didn't talk about Ingram.
Because I can remember if that happened. That happened like pretty.
So much shit happens, and it's all fucking clusterfuck. That's the problem. That is the fucking problem with this goddamn administration. Everything is such a cluster.
So to be fair, she isn't part of the administration. Well, I guess you could argue that being on Fox News makes you part of this administration. But
yeah, if you're Fox News, you're in this administration.
Yes,
100%.
So we had a Fox News host, Laura Ingraham, go after one of those kids that survived the Parkland shooting. And she was saying some wild shit about him. Like, this wasn't just an ideological difference about gun control. Like, she was talking shit about what was like his grade point average or some shit like that. Was that her?
Yeah, and the crisis acting thing and all that dumb shit. I don't know if it was her who said the crisis actor thing, but I think she did co-sign on that.
There's generally people out there indulging in conspiracy theories, things like, these kids are actors. You hear people say shit like these kids have no souls. There's a lot of shit talking about these kids. So I can't remember quite what it was that she said, but they were personal attacks. They were not like, I disagree with what this kid is saying about the need for gun control or whatnot. She was going after this high school kid that survived gun violence because that was a smart idea for you to do.
Yeah, and I see a lot of people making the argument like, well, these kids are out in the public eye. They're fair game for criticism. It's like, okay, here's the thing. The things that you're saying about these kids, one, isn't criticism. You're literally attacking them for wanting to see guns taken away. You're not having any empathy for the fact that these are kids that are upset. Like, even if you don't agree, just like I think Ann Navarro said this, so like, even if I don't agree politically with these kids, I even have the respect and knowledge and understanding to know these are kids that are upset and hurting because they saw their fucking friends get killed. So why am I going to go after them? Sure, if you ask me, do I agree or not? Okay, if I was somebody who didn't agree with what they wanted, I would be like, yeah, I don't think that the policies that they're acting for are going to do anything. But I'm not going to call them like crazy. I'm not going to say they were being pushed by the left to do this. I'm not going to say they're acting, they're pretending. I'm not going to call them stupid little kids like Ted Nugent and this other celebrity called them and things like that. No, I'm just going to be like, I don't agree with these things, but I understand where they're coming from and leave it at that. I'm not going to fucking try to bury these kids like Rick Santorum did when he came out. It was like talking all the shit he was talking. Like, the fuck?
Yes. Before I respond to that, I was right about that GPA thing because I see a tweet that she had, David Hogg rejected by 4 colleges to which he applied and whines about it. She's going after this kid for getting rejected by colleges he wanted to go into. What the fuck does that have to do with the gun issue?
Nothing to do with the issue.
Nothing at all.
You're just fucking making fun of the kids.
Yeah, so when I said these were personal attacks, I was being quite serious about that being the problem. It would be one thing if she just disagreed with him on a political issue. That wouldn't matter that much. That's not what this is. And, responding to what Black said, we are losing the sense that being, I don't know what the word I'm looking for is polite, that being good is good, that you have some sort of standard of decency that you should have. And we are losing that a lot, at least within that circle. Like you mentioned, Ann Navarro, you can disagree with somebody and not be a fucking psycho about it. I disagree with people all the time, and I like to think that they don't think that I'm disrespecting them or attacking their personal lives or attacking them on issues that have nothing to do with what we're talking about just to be mean-spirited. And when you add the fact that, again, this is a kid who survived a shooting, lost friends and all that stuff. no sympathy, no decency. And when people defend her for doing that, it's like, you're pretty much just saying that decency and sympathy are out the window, and those are not values that we should bother having, which I disagree with. But she got some of her shit because they went after her advertisers, and some of them pulled out in the extreme. There was a list of them that
yeah, a bunch of advertisers companies.
They went after that money though.
And that's the thing, and that's what I like to see, because most people aren't gonna let you fuck with their money, and I don't blame them. You're not gonna fuck with my money like that. So even if I 100% agree with you, if I'm a business, I have to protect my bottom line. It's just like the stupidity of the guy with Papa John's going all in on the flag thing. I wouldn't have said shit. I would not have taken a position.
Sure.
But he took a position. He was like, the players are wrong. And now what's happened? Papa John's is no longer the official pizza of the NFL. Pizza Hut has the contract. Papa John's sales have been declining since he said that.
God damn.
Fuck with his money. His money got fucked with. He fucked up, and now his money has been fucked up with. He lost a major contract with a major fucking like business that generates billions of dollars a year, and that was putting your name at the face of it, saying it's the official. This is what NFL people eat. Now they were like, "Fuck you, Pizza Hut, you're up."
Now, some people have taken issue with this idea that, it seems like increasingly when people fuck up, we go after their advertisers. We go after their jobs in some cases. And there is something to be said about that, because sometimes people will like misspeak or make minor mistakes, and it's like you want them to disappear for fucking ever with no sense of redemption. And I understand that point well enough. But I heard somebody make an argument about this specific case that I hadn't thought about before, and it's that, normally when this type of thing happens, you go after their employer first to make them, deal with their employee. And maybe the reason that that's not very appealing in this case is because Fox is the employer here, and this is the type of shit they generally want. The employer here does not disagree with the employee. They want this sort of thing. So going around them and going for the advertisers directly seems like a fair move, because I'm sure by now people have tried to get Fox to clamp down on this kind of behavior, and I'm sure they're just encouraging it there at this point.
Yeah, but no, I think it goes back to what you were saying earlier about, you had the right to say what you want. Just know that there could be repercussions for it. This is the same instance. Not everybody is going to be willing to sit by quietly and let you get away with that. I mean, we tend to like dehumanize companies because they're all about business and making money, which is called a business for a reason, people. But we tend to dehumanize them in a way that we forget that, some of these companies do have moral like standards or personal preferences as to who they do business in and what type of environment their stuff is presented in. Not everybody is just like, fuck it. If you play my commercial, I'll take your money. There are people, there's still even the most greediest company has a standard that they want to uphold to. And, attacking kids probably wasn't the standard for all these companies. You know what I mean? Because Fox has said a lot of shit. They've said a lot of shit about race, religion, politics, financial states, you name it. Sometimes everybody has a line or a limit to something, and they cross the line for these people. Don't be mad at these companies. Be mad at Fox. They finally crossed the line. Sure. And they doubled down on that. And these companies are like, yo, I can't accept that. I'm sorry.
And I point that out to say that in this case, I do think it's fair. I think before you go after the advertisers, you do want to give the company the chance to address these problems. But Fox has not been addressing this problem for years. So in this case, it was fair.
Egging on these kids, even after people went nuts about them. And that's where she only conceded once it got to the point where Fox was losing so much money, they told her to take a 10. That's it.
Definitely. And but in other cases, I do think it is fair to say maybe don't let going after people's livelihoods be your first step. You know, I always think you should combat ideas with ideas. And then when it's getting out of fucking control, then we can talk about more extreme steps like going after the employer, going after advertisers. I don't want to see that this advertiser thing becomes the first step with people. Here, I think it's legitimate for the reasons I laid out. I don't think you could have trusted. I don't think going to Fox as the employer would have been fruitful. And one, in this case, it was personal attack, which is the problematic. But two, this type of shit that they're doing with them is dangerous. You're putting targets on these kids' back, especially when you kind of stoke up the conspiracy theory thinking and stuff like that. So in some cases, what they do and talk about is actually dangerous to these kids.
It's funny you mentioned that because I saw somebody put up a whole string where she was agreeing with how these kids need to be taken out and gone after because who are they to say? And like this girl, she just witnessed like, oddly enough, it was a girl of color, and she was going after these kids and talking about how horrible they were and all that, and like going after anybody who disagreed with her and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, there are a lot of people who are all on board with the idea that these kids need to be punished for speaking their minds and for feeling the way they feel. And it's just like, no, you can't foster. You would think that as a media place, you would want to foster certain things, but Fox loves to foster certain ill will. And I'm glad you brought up the Fox thing too, because I forgot to mention that Sinclair Broadcasting, which is notorious for being very right-winged and having a real just their whole agenda is very right-winged and ultra-religious and anti just about anything that can be considered considered a liberal trait. The story came out that they have been coaching and encouraging, quote unquote, their news media outlets throughout all their broadcasting networks to push a pro-Trump agenda and to back up what he says and things like that on their broadcasts. And you know, people are kind of up in arms about that because that's very dangerous when your media is being controlled to that level where they're specifically pushing a certain type of way of thinking and agenda. The thing that is funny, the thing that CNN, Washington Post, NBC gets fucking, you know, accused of all the time, it's come to find out it's a right-wing media group that is actually really pushing a more police state type way of presenting media and propaganda. You know what I mean? It's very, very funny.
I'm glad you said it that way too, media state type thing, because this is not what you should be seeing from the news in America. This is this is a step toward what you see in places like Russia or China, where they're controlling the media more tightly, or the state, I should say, controls the media more tightly. This extreme bent. I mean, this was a huge problem for a lot of reasons. One, it was a lot of local news places saying this stuff, which you might not even know is owned by Sinclair Broadcast Group. So when they started saying stuff like that, you may not even have known that it was coming from this higher organization at all, because you probably just don't know about the association there. That video is creepy as shit. I was just thinking about it and it made me pause because like it sounds so disjarring when you hear them all talk at once.
Yeah, no, because it's just like they're all programmed.
Yes. I was listening to it in the car and I was like, what is going on with my goddamn speakers right now? But it is. I'm not really sure what to say or think about that. I have no positive feelings about the fact that they did that. I like what you put it out just now, that as much as people like Trump and his supporters cry out fake news, not to be politically biased here, but it's generally your news that's fake. I mean, it's not like more liberal leaning places haven't put out weird stuff that is questionable, but this issue is largely in your camp, ironically. You guys are very into this type of thing, at least right now. It's
yeah, no,
I don't want to go down this route.
You know, they have a weird obsession with keeping the narrative to what they think and believe and dismissing everything. It's like, look, whatever the right says or does, I'll comment on it. If I don't agree with it, I'll mention I'll agree with it. But I'm not going to dismiss the majority of it because it's how they feel. In fact, I shouldn't want to dismiss how they feel because I should want to know exactly how you feel, why you feel that way, especially if it's something scary. That way I know how to handle that shit when it comes my way. But this whole new right-wing tactic of just everything that's being said that doesn't agree with what you feel or believe or think is just fake. It's just fucking weird levels of social programming that this guy has created that I don't like. I really don't like it.
And it's dangerous. When I said we're inching towards something like Russia has, I didn't just mean that because there's a political party that seems to be controlling these types of groups. What I meant was that this is how they kind of destabilize their citizenry. They make them feel like they can't trust anything except whoever is saying, you know, like if I'm coming here and I say, you guys can't trust anybody, nobody's telling you the truth except me, it throws you into this weird state where you don't know where to believe, which is what happens in dictatorships a lot as far as control of information goes. It's one of the things that makes me so concerned with Trump, because he just continuously destabilizes people's ability to know the truth. And truth is very important in a democracy. So when these guys come up and they say, you know, there's people lying to you with their bias, this is right out of a dictator's playbook. This is not a trivial thing. It's very fucking serious. Yeah. It's how you go down the path to, maybe I shouldn't say down the path of dictatorship because that might seem kind of hyperbolic.
No, I agree, because it's similar to the stuff that, I hate to say it, that Hitler did. It's how the Third Reich got their power, because they kept pushing this agenda that everything that you're being told is a lie by that side, and they pinpoint like a certain enemy, which Trump has done with immigrants, and they keep pushing this idea that these people are the ones that are going to get you and that are doing the worst damage to you. At the same time, your government leaders, these people who want to let these people in the country and all that, you know, they're letting your freedoms slip away, and they're putting you in a position where these other people are going to murder you and take everything that you have and blah, blah, blah. It's very Hitler-like with the propaganda.
The key aspect to it is to make sure you don't trust anybody but them. Make everybody else seem like a total liar. And I feel like we've already had this problem for a while. They're just making it worse, because you see people, I see it on social media all the time. They don't trust anything, no matter where it comes from. It could come from the most legitimate news sources we have in this country, and they just flat out won't buy it. If you go to YouTube's, or if you go on like YouTube and you look at like CNN's videos and stuff, go to their comment section. There's people calling that shit fake news on every video. It's crazy.
It's like CNN's been around for years. Has never had that. I mean, there's always been conspiracy theorists, of course, and people have always believed that the media was just fake propaganda to some degree, but not on this level. At least not in my lifetime.
Yeah. And of course, Trump is all for this shit, because I'm pretty sure he sent out a tweet defending them doing that, which should raise red flags for anybody who gives a fuck about democracy.
Yeah.
You should hear like alarm bells going off in your goddamn mind. But I don't know how much deeper you want to go about that. I just want to see that clip with the president talking on Easter is fucking hilarious. That's all I want to say about it.
I avoided that clip. Pretty dude.
He's just like so he's supposed to be speaking to like a group of kids and their parents, I believe, on Easter, you know.
Hold on, is this the military shit? I didn't see it, but I heard he said something about the military.
I mean, he said a lot of shit, you know. All while this fucking bunny, this dude, whoever is in that bunny suit, just kind of standing there next to him. He's like talking about how great the military is. We're giving the military all this money. The economy is great. I'm like, who is he talking to? There's kids, right? This is for kids.
All they want is the fucking Easter eggs. And
he can't help but try to brag, no matter what the situation is. Like, because I'm listening to this guy talk, and I'm like, why are you doing this? Why are you bragging about this stuff to kids? It's fucking Easter. Just shut the fuck up and give them some eggs.
All he was like, thank Easter Bunny for bringing us these wonderful eggs and candy. You kids have fun. Happy Easter. What? That's it.
And I'm watching this video the whole time. He's saying this shit. Just bragging on and on about all this stuff. It's great. It's all going to be great and all this shit. And the Easter Bunny just kind of standing there. And I'm just like, you know, I wish the Easter Bunny would like do some cute shit or something so this would be more comedic, because it just feels really uncomfortable. Like the bunny is just, I don't know what's happening here. Is this still Easter stuff? What's going on?
That sounds worse than a Boy Scout thing.
Like, I forgot he did that. Like, don't let this guy near kids, because he doesn't care that he's talking to kids. Apparently.
Yeah, he had to have been the worst father in the world. Like, you would think someone who has children would kind of have a little bit of knowledge, but clearly he was an absentee dad. What the fuck?
Like, if you didn't know that he was talking to kids at these speeches, like if you had no context and you listened to him talk like at the Boy Scout thing and at this, would you know that he was talking to kids?
No, because when I heard them say like he was doing the military thing, I saw the picture of him standing by the Easter Bunny, but I didn't really correlate it because I wasn't think. Honestly, I knew about the Easter. I mean, shit, I live in DC. I know about the Easter egg hunt every year, but I guess when it comes to him, when they talk about him and his talking points, the last thing I think about is, oh, and he was talking to this to kids, talking about this to kids. You know what I mean?
But it shows his priorities, right? He cares all about bragging. That's why when Roseanne got good ratings or whatever, he was like, they did it. They got great ratings and they were talking about us. And it's like, why do you care so much about this type of thing? Like, why is your ego so unhealthy that you care about people's ratings when it comes to you, that you need to brag even in front of children? At all times of day, you have to stroke your own ego in some weird, uncomfortable, inappropriate way.
Yeah, that is strange. I'm glad I didn't watch that clip even more so now, because that's fucking dumb. Like, it really didn't dawn on me that he was doing this stupid shit in front of a bunch of kids. The fuck the kids care about military unless I mean, shit, they don't even care about G.I. Joe anymore. It's about as military as we ever cared about, you know, as kids in my lifetime. So,
it's not for them. It's for him. It's for him to just brag and brag. I don't know what the fuck he does this stuff for. I don't know why he did it with the Boy Scouts. I don't know why he did it here. Who knows? But we can hop on to cooler things now, because I just couldn't let that Easter Bunny stood shine.
I'm glad you mentioned that, because I didn't know the detail. Now I'm horrified. What the fuck is wrong with that man? But I guess even talking about him and how horrible he is kind of segue into the ending portion of the show, because God damn it, Donald Trump's in the WWE Hall of Fame. That's a goddamn shame that man is in the WWE Hall of Fame for taking probably the worst stunt. If it wasn't for Linda McMahon, his would be the worst stunner I've ever seen taken in life.
I mean, I think I've said this before. I don't know if I said it on the podcast, but that happens because of WWE's insistence on star fucking. Like, because as much as people don't like Trump now, he was always like this. Like, it wasn't a secret that he was an asshole.
Yeah.
He's had problems in the public eye literally for decades. So it's not like you couldn't have known that he was not the best like role model kind of guy to bring in. You should have known that. You didn't protect your brand, and now you have this association because he's famous. He's a personality. You just had to bring him on. It would be one thing if he was like a good guy, and then all of a sudden you realize he killed a bunch of people and nobody knew about it or something. But this is a guy that you knew. You had to have known if you picked anything.
I will say this in slightly their defense. He's not the only person in their Hall of Fame that's an asshole. I know you don't really cover sports, but there is a baseball player by the name of Pete Rose who is in the WWE Hall of Fame as well. And his whole thing is he has the most hits ever in Major League history, but he will forever be infamous for betting against his team while coaching his team. And he was banned from baseball for that because he was placing bets on his team while coaching them to lose so he could cover his spreads.
Good shit.
Yeah. So
and they knew that before he was inducted?
Yeah, he did that before. He did that. He's not in the. He is banned from baseball. He's not allowed to be in the Baseball Hall of Fame. The man with the most hits ever in the history of Major League Baseball is banned from showing up at games, from being a part of any ceremonies, and from being in the Baseball Hall of Fame. One of the greatest hitters of all time doesn't have the honor, but he's in the WWE Hall of Fame.
They do shit like this all the time. I mean, they just had to change the name of that little women's match that they're having for whatever reason from the what would they even call it? It was named after the fabulous Mueller, who there was a lot of controversy about before this issue, and they decided to do that. They don't seem to care about protecting their brand from these gross associations.
No, it has to be so loud that they can't avoid stopping what they're doing. It's like, oh, really? You literally have to drop the body on the lawn before they decide. Because, I mean, look at Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan was going to sit. They weren't going to get rid of Hulk Hogan, but it got so loud. It was like, yeah, we got to get rid of him for using the N-word.
And it makes you look bad because, one, you choose to associate with them, and then the fans fight you out of it, which when they make you back down, it looks bad. But you wouldn't be in that situation if you didn't endorse this shit in the first place. It's just bad business. It doesn't make any sense.
But again, like I said, Trump is the Vince of politics. Vince is the Trump of wrestling.
I would like to say that's one of the things that pisses me off most about Trump is his association with the WWE. Because now, when people talk shit about Trump, they'll say things like, "This is a guy who was doing shit in wrestling to make him look silly," which makes me feel silly as a fan for liking wrestling because people do that.
Right, because that stupid shit that they do with that. Oh my God. But all right. It's okay. We're supposed to be positive about the wrestling thing. Trump shouldn't destroy this as well.
He's even taking that.
I know he is. That's a goddamn shame. But he's not going to take the joy of some of this WrestleMania, even though I feel Vince is going to take a lot of joy away because Vince is Vince. But this WrestleMania actually has a lot of good matches, in my opinion. And I have the card in front of me now. I don't think this is in the order of when the matches are going to go on. If it were, this is a stupid way to run your matches. You'll find out why really quickly as I call out these matches. So we're going to give our predictions of who we think will win and a little bit on why. So the first match they have listed is Universal Champ Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns for the title.
Starting at the top of the card there.
And that's the thing. That's why I say I don't think this is in order, because if that's your lead match, what the fuck are you doing?
Well, maybe it's in reverse order. Like, go to the bottom and see.
No, because the last match listed is Cedric Alexander versus Mustafa Ali for the Cruiserweight Championship Tournament Finals. I guarantee you that's not.
That's a pretty sure.
The main event match right there.
All right. So, what was the match? It was the Universal title match?
Yeah, Brock Lesnar versus Roman Reigns.
Man, Roman is gonna spear that bitch.
I think so too. I think Roman's gonna piss everybody off, which I'm fine with.
This is Vince's MO. He is insistent on pushing this guy as a face, and we see this. Well, I shouldn't say that because maybe he'll turn heel. I don't know or care really, but you know he's been running the long job with this, right? We had Brock pretty much bitch out Reigns the like 2 WrestleManias ago. I absolutely bitched him out to the point where I was like, when they announced this match, I was like, why would I want to see that? He bitched this dude out for like 20 minutes. Like, what is there to gain from having this fight again? I don't believe in this.
Not only was he bitched out, but when he finally got to the like hero moment, his best friend came out and fucked him. Like he was just fucked over all around in that match.
It's not like you can just say, well, the only reason he didn't win is because of Seth Rollins. If he would have won that match after getting bitched out like that, I would have been hot, yo. No way.
Yeah, no. He straight got destroyed.
So when they announced this match, I'm like, do you not remember how it went last time? You need to make Roman like lift up a building or something to show me that he's improved so much I could buy this. No way. And he's been bitched out in like every promo they've had. Maybe I think Roman might have got his comeuppance last night. I didn't get to watch it, but so I say that to say, since then, it just feels like maybe Vince has had this big dream of Roman making that big comeback to finally take out Brock Lesnar, who's been not undefeated. He lost to Goldberg.
Yeah,
but it's been on quite a streak. I guess we'll put it that way.
But you know what? I'm fine with Roman winning, and I want Roman to win because Brock doesn't need to have a belt. Let's be honest. Why does this man need to have the fucking belt? He's never anywhere with the belt except for random appearances before some pay-per-view. So he doesn't even appear before some of the pay-per-views. He just shows the fuck up. It's just like Paul Heyman giving us, great speeches, setting up his matches when this guy's not even showing up. He's fucking, I don't know, on his farm chopping wood or doing some shit.
And no, I'm not bothered by the fact that we treat Brock like a commodity. I don't need him to show up on these shows, but I also don't need him to be champion. I need a champion.
And that's my thing.
Present.
He could be a commodity, but your champ should not be a commodity. Your champ should be represented. Like your champ should be like AJ. Your champ should always be the fuck around somewhere.
And I don't need to see them on literally every single show, but
you don't have to
more than Brock. Like
you don't have to wrestle every show. Just fucking be there.
Yes, like when Brock held the championship before this last time, that shit had to be hot because I'm sitting here. I'm like, does Raw have a champion?
5 matches that whole year. I counted them. 5.
I remember at one point thinking, I'm not sure if this was after the brand split or not. I can't remember, but I was like, does this championship even exist? I forgot that
the championship was before the brand split. And like I said, he showed up 5 places. He showed up WrestleMania. He showed up Royal Rumble. He showed up SummerSlam. He showed up Night of Champions, and I believe he showed up at what's the name of the thing? Survival Series.
Yeah.
He may have had 1 or 2 more matches in between there, but yeah, only 5 places.
That means he's not on TV or at other pay-per-views for most of the year. Which
no, I take that back. He showed up 5 places, and I think he did 3 Raws.
When he was champion, I didn't feel like, oh my God, we have this monster as a champion that nobody could beat. I felt like this guy's holding the title hostage. All he's doing is keeping it out of potential storylines for the most part. I mean, not that his storylines are all boring or anything. For the most part, they're fine. But he's pretty much like taken the queen off the chessboard and is just holding it hostage so nobody can have it. Like,
yeah.
It wasn't good. And then he came back and he won the title and he did it again with this run. And I just thought, why didn't you learn this lesson? So I say that to say, while I'm not interested in this fantasy that Vince has about Reigns, I do want Reigns to win. And I like Reigns. I don't really dislike Reigns. I think he's fine. I think his matches are good. I think he's increasingly good on the mic. He's got a cool hair. I guess I don't fucking know. I don't have any animus toward Reigns. I'm not extremely interested in this match, but I hope for the sake of having a title around, he wins.
Yeah. Because, I mean, at least even if you hate him, at least you got a chance. You can direct the ire to somebody who's on TV or who's showing up more than just like every couple of months.
And the story makes sense. I mean, he finally gets his comeback, I guess, on this.
Yeah, because he got cheated. I mean, he did get cheated out of his WrestleMania moment.
Generally, that type of long-term booking is something I like. I do think the story is weird, where he's like, Brock is Vince's golden boy. He's getting all this special treatment, and it's like, but that's the way the fans feel about you. So,
yeah, I know it's weird because what he's saying about Brock isn't a lie. Yeah, that's the reality of the moment. But yeah, it's a reality about the moment for him too. Unfortunately,
it's the same way I felt when Reigns and Cena were going back and forth in their promos, and Cena said something like, you've been protected. And I was like, I remember my mouth dropped when he said that. I'm like, you are talking about people being protected? What?
Right, you wrote the book.
The audacity of you, of all people on earth, to say that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was out of control.
It was.
But, it goes to this thing. It's like, the stories are fine, but they don't always make sense for these characters. Same thing when, what was it? Triple H, back earlier during Reigns. He said something like, you fans love Reigns. They were treating Reigns like a Daniel Bryan style underdog for a little bit there. And it's like, I remember he said something like, you're not the one we want. And I was like, what? He is exactly everything you said Bryan isn't. He is exactly the type of motherfucker you want. How am I supposed to believe you? So the stories are fine. Maybe shift the characters around. I want Reigns to spear this dude straight to hell.
Yeah. Although I need Reigns to get another finishing move. They have to let him develop something else.
I wouldn't mind another move or two, because that Superman punch, like, it's weird because I actually do think it's kind of interesting or cool. My only issue is that he does it like half a dozen times in every match.
And I get sick and tired of hearing Cole announce that shit.
Superman punch! Especially when he does it to like multiple people.
Like, oh my God, Cole, shut up. Shut up!
If he's doing it against like Braun, who doesn't go down with one punch, and he does it like 3 times.
Yeah, and he always gets Superman punch, Superman punch. It's like, am I playing WWE? Are we on the fucking like repeated voice track, dude? Come on.
It's sad because I do like that move. It's just if you did it less often, I would like it so much more.
Yeah, no. You need to let him expand his moveset. But all right, next match, which is a match that we will see a hell of an.
He should take the F5. I just want to say that after he beats Lesnar, he should take the F5 and use it as a setup move.
Actually, switch up. Have him win. Have him limp out the ring. Have Brock get up, and Paul Heyman's over there, like, crying, like, Brock, what happened? Are you okay? And then Brock just gets mad and F5s Paul Heyman. Walks up the ring. With Paul laying there. I would like to see that. Even though I love Paul, it would be funny to see him take an F5.
Or if Reigns goes heel, have him give Lesnar the go to sleep and just not even talk about it. Just to troll.
Yeah, that would be funny. All right.
Next match.
The next match on the card is probably the match that should be the fucking main event, but I have a feeling like we're going to get this midway through WrestleMania, and it's going to piss me off because it's going to be the highlight of the goddamn WrestleMania. WWE Champion AJ Styles versus Shinsuke Nakamura.
I don't understand why we talk about brands being split and they're equal now. Why can't SmackDown main event? Are these titles not supposed to be equal? Like, I mean, nobody even.
No, the WWE Champion is the biggest championship in the fucking company. So, no, it should headline.
I mean, it is the case that they just made the Raw one because they didn't have one on Raw. So it's like, but no, when we're talking about the WrestleMania card, I don't recall anybody really saying that Lesnar and Reigns would be the main event. It was just kind of assumed because, well, one, it's the Raw title, two, who's in it, but it seems like we don't even bother to think about which one should be the main event. It's just kind of assumed the Raw one is the main event.
Yeah, but no, I mean, there used to be an understanding in the pecking order. It's like the major titles came last. You had your preliminary matches, you had your story building matches, and then you had your championships in the order of importance. They don't do that shit no more.
I prefer to see this match last, but Reigns versus Nakamura. I think I put out my prediction first, so why don't you go ahead?
Well, I think AJ's gonna win.
Okay.
But I would love to see Nakamura win because it would be so out of the ordinary for them to do something like that. Again, that's weird for me to say, considering that AJ being the champ is kind of out of ordinary, in my opinion, for the way that they usually book things these days. But you have two great ring performers. I think Shinsuke kind of gets a little bit more heat, though, because his matches haven't been as high level as AJ's. That being said, I feel like you're going to get like the Shinsuke Nakamura that everybody has grown to love and why we all fell in love with Shinsuke in this match. I feel like this is going to be his best WWE match. Like, it may be his best match of his career because I've seen him and AJ go before, and I can tell you firsthand that's just beautiful to watch.
I was watching like during a workout the other day, like last week, I watched Nakamura and Styles at Wrestle Kingdom 10.
Yeah. I forget which one it was.
That shit got me hyped. Like, oh my God. Like, that shit is amazing. I would say go watch that match, but maybe just wait for this one. It's Sunday.
No, I have to say this for all matches. Don't watch anybody's previous matches before this, because if you do, you might see this shit and you'd be like, why the fuck could they have done that? So don't sully yourself. Just
watch it afterward.
Critique after.
I think I'm going to go with Nakamura. One, because I like him, but I think SmackDown needs somebody else who can be at that Styles level. Like, nobody gets the type of reaction right now on SmackDown outside of Daniel Bryan, but he only just recently returned, so I'm not counting him. Nobody gets that type of reaction Styles does, where you can just walk out into the ring and stand there and they'll just start chanting and freaking out. And I feel like Nakamura could get that reaction. The only reason he doesn't right now is because he hasn't had those matches. And, well, that and the storylines he's been in have been very lackluster. He was in something with Jinder, which it wasn't for him. I think he did a little something with Rude or something like that. I don't remember.
They had a couple of matches, but it wasn't really long. It could have been a good thing had they fostered that a little bit better.
Yeah, I feel like if they had done better leading up to this, he would have the same level of reactions as Styles, or if not exactly the same, fairly close. Like, you could feel the fans want to like him, but they just haven't seen him in the types of matches where he's great. Like, I also watched Nakamura and Sami Zayn the other day in NXT.
That was fucking ridiculous. I love that match.
And I was like, the only reason he doesn't get Styles level reactions right now is because he hasn't been having those matches. And I'm not trying to talk shit about his opponents, but they haven't been the right type of opponents for these type of matches either.
No.
I'm sorry about Jinder, but he wasn't going to give out that 5-star match.
Yeah, like his biggest matches have been Jinder. He had a couple with Bobby Roode, but they didn't really push those. Probably his biggest rivalry so far has been with Randy Orton, which is not saying much because, I'm not down on Randy Orton or anything like that, but at this point in his career, he's not somebody who's going to headline you, build you up.
Not really, which is why I think I'm going with Nakamura, because I think they want to and should build up somebody else who can be at that level on SmackDown. Because I feel like part of the reason Styles got the championship back is because they didn't have anybody else that could really do that. I mean, they were going into SummerSlam with that match with Lesnar, talking about, oh, we're going to do this with Jinder. They backed off that shit real quick because whatever their motivation was, they sent AJ out there because right now AJ is the one they depend on.
Yeah.
And they can have another AJ in Nakamura if one, he has a great match here and he wins, and Nakamura knocks down some worthy contenders in some good matches with good feuds. I think that's a smart way to go. And I was a little bit surprised when they let Nakamura win the Rumble, and I'd like to think that is
the fuck out of me.
I would like to think that is a sign that they're trying to invest something into him. I don't like the build up for this match the way it's been, but I'm hoping that they believe in him enough to do something. So I'm going with the King of Strong Style. Fuck that artist shit. He's the King of Strong Style.
Yeah, the artist known as. Come on.
No. His match better happen late in are they doing like one of those open roof things again?
I believe this is in the Silverdome in New Orleans, so no, it shouldn't be.
Okay, good, because we need some lights out, and we need whatever sick ass entries he's gonna do. It's gonna be fucking amazing.
Yeah, no. Oh my God, he needs to bring the violinist back. That shit when he did that shit in NXT. God. Actually, no, not just the violinist. They need to have a fucking choir singing the song.
I was gonna say he needs a dance partner. I know there was one shot where he had a dance partner in one of his entrances. I'm like, this guy. This shit's gonna be sick. But either way, I think it's gonna be a hell of a match.
And it's funny because both of them, it's in the Superdome, so it's gonna be indoor stadium.
Good, because I really don't like that outside shit. It feels weird to me when you're doing it in the middle of the day. It's like that's how you know your shows are too long.
When it was over, when it was even though they had some cool moments at WWE at WrestleMania 32, being outside was not cool. It was too light, and then when it started to get dark, it didn't really help much. They did some cool stuff during it, but yeah, it should never be in light. It shouldn't be in the light.
That is the match I'm looking forward to. That shit is gonna be fucking.
Yeah. All right. Next up on their list, and again, people, these are not in the order of which they are going to go. I hope. You have Kurt Angle and Ronda Rousey versus Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. You want me to predict first or you to predict first? Because we can go over this real quick. I don't even have to talk much.
You know who's going to win? The fans. I guess Reigns.
Yes, because they get a good 15 minutes to go to the bathroom, get their snacks.
I meant Ronda and Angle, I guess, are going to win. Do you believe in Stephanie McMahon? I want to believe in her, but I don't know. I can't seem to bring myself to do it.
I like Steph. I like Triple. I still feel like they're way too handcuffed by Vince to get the credit that they deserve.
Sounds like she keeps fit though. Like she works out. She's very active. Like I guess if they were going to do this, I wish I would have seen her in more matches. Because when they said they were going to do this, I was like, Steph hasn't been in a match since what's her name, Nikki Bella, and that was so long ago. Nikki Bella is not even wrestling anymore.
Right.
And before that, when was the last match she had? She's had 2 matches in the last 10 years.
All right, but it's for her opponent, it's fine because again, how many matches does Ronda have? It's a good start for Ronda because it's somebody who doesn't have any ring experience at all, has never been in this position as far as wrestling is concerned. She needs a Stephanie McMahon and not having to be put against somebody who actually is a full-time wrestler.
So did you make your prediction on that?
I predict that'll be probably asking you who won.
So
I feel like I'm not gonna. Although this is my prediction. Triple H will win, not the match necessarily, but he'll win because he's gonna do some insane fucking intro for himself. So
he takes pride in that shit, man. I dig it.
Yeah, again, it's one of the cool things from WrestleMania 32. Even though it was an outdoor stadium, him and the Terminator shit. But him with the Terminator shit was fucking hot.
That King shit he did at 30, like
when he had the shit with the girls. By the way, you know who?
My God,
don't you?
That was like a Sasha,
Charlotte, and Alexa.
Oh my God, yo,
when he had the fucking girls adoring his throne, like that badass mask. Oh my fucking God, yo.
First Stephanie's giving him like his own personal announcement, and then you pan up and you just see this like golden glittering throne with these women like adorned around it. He steps off like all slow. He lets them take off his fucking
he took off his like mask and his fucking crown and all that
golden mask, and he just like, bruh, that is an entrance. Oh my God.
Yeah, no, he kills it with the like WrestleMania entrance.
Wait, wasn't that the match he had with Bride? You should have done that. You can't have that entrance and lose. No.
Fuck it. He didn't care because, like I said, even if he loses, he wins. Intro is just, if it's not the best, it's top 3.
I mean, this dude is out of control. I think he just spends like the year just planning out his entrances.
Mm-hmm.
But I wouldn't be too offended if Triple H and Stephanie won. If you want to play the whole,
I would actually be more impressed if they let that happen. Because Ronda doesn't need to have the first win.
No, I mean, you could argue she should.
This is going to be a go nowhere thing, really. At best, you'll see like the next time Steph will give her props and all that, and maybe that she'll take another bump. And then Ronda will go off on her business to do whatever Ronda's going to do.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think this match's story is all that important for the future of Rousey. So I wouldn't mind if Triple H actually fucking won a match. Like, what is?
Yeah, actually,
it's been a while.
Well,
I think he beat Sting or something last.
No, last time he won a match was when he beat Sting.
Because he lost
at WrestleMania.
He lost to Rollins.
Yeah.
Lost to Bryan. I think he lost to Taker if he did that at Mania.
Yep, he did.
He doesn't have too much of a problem putting over other people at Mania, which is good. But you need to win every once in a while.
Then again, does he? Since he's only like legitimately, seriously part-time.
Lost to Reigns. I feel like he does, because if he goes into these matches and I don't believe you're going to win, what's the point?
Well, the Reigns one was particularly bad to me because like you had this man win another championship at the Royal Rumble. You actually had him take Reigns' title from him at the Royal Rumble. It was the point. It
was part of the reason like I wasn't interested in Jericho for so long, because I'm like, you never win anything. Why are you here? And you just talk about him like putting people over, but he's like, not really, because all these losses kind of hurt your current perception.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess.
God damn it! You just reminded me. Jericho lost a Fandango at WrestleMania. Shit.
How do you get put over by the guy who loses the Fandango? But yeah, Ronda and Kurt. Yeah, that's it. I'm mildly interested just to see like what kind of ring gear Rousey wears, and what her actual wrestling is going to be like, because we've only seen her like throw some women, which is the first time I saw her do that throw that she does, I thought it was like a botch or something, because I never really seen anybody do that. But then she did it again. I was like, I guess it's on purpose. And that shit was like out of control. I don't know who she threw last time, but that shit looked rough. Yeah. That was a ride I don't want to take. Holy shit. But yeah, I'm curious to see how that goes. I hope she mounts Stephanie and just like gives her those old Brock Lesnar elbows when he busted open Randy Orton. If you're gonna do this, like, let's see some extreme. Like let's see some blood in the women's division.
Yeah, I feel like there's gonna be some major fuck ups because she hasn't wrestled. I understand she's been in training, but she hasn't wrestled. It's different to like train, but to actually have to execute.
I would feel better if she was in there with somebody who has wrestled a lot recently. Like, when they said Stephanie is gonna beat, I'm like, but is Stephanie gonna carry a match? Like, her match with Nikki Bell was better than I thought it was going to be, but I don't know. Whatever, we can move on. We have the winners.
Yeah. Who did you say was the winner? I'll go with your winner. I didn't pick a winner.
I went with Angle and Rousey because Angle is going to break Stephanie's ankle. That's how this is going to happen. Because she is the one who's been taking him out. So
that would be funny. It'd also be funny to see how many moves Angle can do with his neck. But
I mean, chill out.
I guess. Speaking of people with fucked up necks or brains, what did Daniel Bryan have? Was it CTE?
A lot of problems. I don't know.
Yeah, I think people were saying he had CTE, but I don't know if that was borne out to be true. Either way, he ain't got no problems no more because he's back. So the next on the list is Daniel Bryan and Shane McMahon versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. I'll go first. Fucking Daniel Bryan's winning. Come on. Daniel Bryan's pinning. Not only is he winning, he's gonna pin fucking Sami Zayn after hitting him with the flying knee.
I'm going with Zayn and Owens. And I think Zayn is going to win with that haluva kick.
I was gonna say, if they do, Zayn has to beat him with the haluva kick. It can't be Kevin.
I think it would be a good spot just because of the whole head and neck injury thing. Because when he did it on SmackDown, I'm like, what are you doing? You stupid son of a bitch. We just got it back. I think that's a good heel moment. And plus, they need to be hired back somehow, right? So how are we going to make sense of that? Because Brian's whole thing was like, if they lose, they're not coming back. So
yeah, Brian and them are winning.
I guess you could send them to Raw. I don't know. But you need somebody on SmackDown. Like, you can't just take the fuck it. Maybe we need to change of pace. I'm going with Owens and Kevin. Or Kevin and Sami, because those are my guys. Fuck that Brian guy. I'm kidding. I'm glad he's back. Oh my god, I'm so happy.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how much work he gets in this match. I feel like he's going to do the lion's share simply because he needs to prove to the world that he's fine. I mean, he did it with the power bomb, but no, he needs to like fucking go like on 100 miles per hour in this match.
There's also the fact that Shane McMahon just got hurt, so like.
Oh yeah, but he's a nut too, so he'll fuck himself up. He's gonna do the coast to coast, and he's gonna jump out the ring on a table on somebody. We all know that.
We need to keep this dude under control. I watched him versus AJ. I've been watching back a bunch of matches over the last couple of years, and like when he did that shooting star press, I was like, "Who does this guy think he is?" Like,
yeah,
yo,
he's fucking insane. He's insane. But okay, so I have Shane and Brian. You have Sami and Kevin. Either way, it should be an entertaining match. Because if anything, Zayn and Owens are going to work it to where it's going to be. I mean, shit. Kevin Owens and Shane actually had one of the better matches of what was that, SummerSlam when they fought? So
was it?
Yeah, I think it was SummerSlam. It wasn't WrestleMania.
It was surprisingly good. I don't normally like gimmicky matches like Hell in a Cell, but they made it work. And I feel like Shane deserves some fucking credit at this point because when he was first coming back, like when he says challenging the Undertaker the first time, like, what are you doing? Blah blah blah. He had a decent match with the Undertaker, and not just the part where he almost killed himself. I mean, the match he was having was good. The match he had with Styles was good. The match he had with Owens is good. I'm not saying he's the best worker, but he's fine. You can trust that he could put on a decent match at this point, I would think.
No, Shane's good. Shane's better than Shane was when Shane was kind of taking it serious, even though we didn't take him serious because he was the boss's son. But now it's like he works out, he does fucking MMA. Again, that shooting star press. This fucking old ass man fucking is able to do a goddamn shooting star press.
You know that shit freaked people out when they saw that, because
when I saw that, I was like, oh my god, this is fucking ridiculous. How is this man doing this? I don't understand what's going on with Shane. All right, so I'm going to be highly unprofessional right now because I need you to rip for a couple of minutes because I just got a message and I need to go outside and take something to someone because people always mess up during recordings. But no, this is what I want you to riff on. Now, out of all the matches that we've announced, which do you honestly think is the most important? And do you think all of these should proceed or come after the next match, which is on the list, which is the SmackDown Women's Championship between Charlotte Flair and Asuka?
All right. So
give me 2 minutes. Go.
Sure. So let's see. I think we talked on the Universal title match, the WWE Champion match with Styles and Nakamura, the tag team match between Ronda Rousey and her partner Kurt Angle versus Triple H and his wife Stephanie McMahon, and the last match we talked about was Bryan and McMahon versus Owens and Zayn. Which one of these is the most important? That is a really tough question, actually. So with the Bryan match, you have the return of Daniel Bryan, where we're going to see him in an actual match after the last 3 years or so. One, we're going to see if he can actually perform. We're going to see what his style is going to look like, because his style might be a little bit different. We saw his trademark kicks and drop kicks on that SmackDown show, but I would hope that he's developed a safer style. And even if not, just for the sake of being different, I would hope he's added something new to his arsenal and he's doing something a little different. I'm curious to see what his ring gear is going to look like. This is a big return, and it's going to answer some serious questions. Is his ring style going to be different? You know, what's his wrestling going to be like? Can he really handle it after he actually has this matches and does more bumps and he's getting his checkups and stuff? We'll see. You know, do the doctors keep approving him to continue wrestling and so on? So I think that's insanely important. I think the Rousey match is important in the sense that you have a mega female star in Ronda Rousey who's coming over from, you know, different sport, different world into the wrestling ring, which should bring a lot of eyes. I'm not sure if it's going to bring people live to the WrestleMania show to see just her, but I could see like sports channels talking about that sort of thing. I could see it in the newspapers. I think for publicity's sake, it's very important. I would say that those are probably the two most important. I'm personally most interested in Nakamura and Styles, but as far as importance, Bryan's return and seeing how that's going to pan out, and Rousey's first match and seeing what that entails. You know, how does Rousey work in a ring? Can she sell? Is her ring work fluid enough? Does she have any character when she's in the ring? We have two very serious unknowns between Rousey and Bryan. I can hear Black is back messing around.
Sort of back because I have the camera muted, so my friend won't be seen. By the way, I got her birthday present, a late birthday present. That's why she came back. Yes, I'm a sweetheart. I know.
Didn't get me shit.
I mean, whatever. What do you want?
A lot.
You know, if I knew what easy. Actually, I know a way. When is your birthday?
September 7th.
Oh shit, that's actually not bad timing. Spider-Man should be probably announced by then. Bam, there's your birthday present. You're welcome.
Thank you. That's I swear this guy's Trump out here just taking credit for whatever the fuck he wants.
No, I'm serious. You think I'm lying? I'm serious. If Spider-Man comes out around your birthday, I will get you Spider-Man. 100% dead ass.
All right. I was trying to
address. This has been said on recording, by the way, people, so y'all can hold me to that shit.
I was trying to address your question, and I found it more difficult than I expected as far as which match is the most important. For me, it's between the Bryan and the Rousey match. I talked about Bryan because this is his first match back in 3 years. We don't know if his style is going to be the same. Hopefully, after the match, he's been actually bumping a bit, and we see what his doctors say after that. They continue to approve of him wrestling. I think there's a lot of interesting unknowns with that, but I could say the same thing with the Rousey match. So with Rousey, you've got this female megastar coming in from outside of wrestling who's going to bring a bunch of eyes, if not to the live show, at least to, clips afterward. We don't know how fluid she is in the ring. I haven't seen any sort of real match with her just yet.
Yeah,
we don't even know what her
do 2 moves or 3 moves.
We don't know how good she is at selling. We don't know what her ring attire is going to look like. We don't know shit about what she is as a wrestler. So
all we know is she goes down easy if you hit her hard enough. By the way, that match should not go after the women's championship match. I feel like the women's championship match needs to take a lot more precedence than it.
Oh, yes, I forgot the second part of that question. I would say that, the women's championship match should go after, I would say both that and the Bryan match. I love Bryan, but we need to respect these titles. Sorry.
Yeah, I feel like that should at least be a middle match if you got to put it at the earliest. Even though I think it should go on later, especially since you have some matches looking at this list that should be like preliminary, maybe even post-show matches. What do you think about them?
But I don't know if I answered the important ones. I think I'm going to go with Rousey, actually.
Yeah, I'm still sticking with Kurt and Ronda because it's going to be a celebrity WWE moment. Like blah.
And I don't mean to, to belittle it because I know a lot of celebrities come in and they're just doing it for this one
spot. Plus, it's Triple H. That's the thing. Triple H likes to put himself in the spotlight.
No, I just mean you see celebrities come in and do this sort of thing and they're not serious, but I feel like she is quite serious about doing this. So I don't want to belittle that too much. I think that's the reason it's important because if she were just doing this as like a one-shot thing, I would say it's not that important. But
yeah, and this is going to be her new career, so
yeah, it's a big personal move for her. I don't know if it will be meaningful as far as other MMA imports in the future. I know people talk about what's his name, Conor McGregor. It's so weird. I don't know if he wanted to come. This is a PG show and he can't not curse.
No, but okay. Now the match at hand: Asuka or Charlotte? Who do you think is going?
Asuka is gonna kick this bitch in the mouth.
You think so? I don't think so.
I think so. I apologize to Charlotte. I love Charlotte. It's
not gonna happen, really. No.
Charlotte's reign, this reign that she's in right now, has been completely meaningless from my standpoint. There's nothing to it. I don't even know how many times she's. Before Ruby, I don't think she'd even defended it in like months. She won it from Natalia, probably.
No, Natalia. Hold on one second. I'm being accosted by Liquid. Say hi, Lord.
Hi, how are you?
I don't believe there's anybody there. I think that was just Megas doing a woman's voice.
He said that's just me mimicking, so a woman's voice.
Turn the camera on. Turn the camera on. Oh, it's on? I don't see my face.
Yeah, because I didn't put the camera on. Because I didn't actually knock down the curtain.
But what up?
Now she feels the need to prove that I'm not alone and that I'm not a liar.
I'm just.
Your shirt says you are. Even though your shirt says you are.
Oh, yeah, my shirt does say I'm a liar.
I'm just trying to spread conspiracy theories about Magus' multiple personalities.
Now you know I'm a real girl because I'm talking about what he eating.
Exposing my business.
Yeah, I'm trying to look up who she won this title from.
Who, Charlotte? She got it from Natalia, right?
Okay, yeah. She won it from.
Are you ready to unveil yourself? Now I have to do an unveiling. So.
Oh, that's just my boobs. Okay.
Yeah, so I do have a woman over here.
So see, you know I'm a real woman because I got boobs. Okay.
Yeah, right.
That's funny. That's 2 weeks in a row we had a woman on the show.
I'm not the first.
We're progressive. No, you're not the first. No, you'll be all right.
Can I bring paper back, please?
But yeah, no, she got it from Natalia. Natalia, it was dumb.
Okay,
wasn't that good of a match.
What has she done?
You're welcome. What has Natalia done since?
What has Charlotte done since?
She's been an absentee champion. She's been Brock Lesnar, a woman. Except for she shows up at every show and she sits on the sideline.
And yeah, doesn't defend because there's been this weird group storyline with the Riot Squad that just doesn't go anywhere until it ultimately ended up in a match of some kind. I just don't see Charlotte winning this match because this championship reign has not meant anything. Her reign on Raw was far more meaningful. She was beating challengers. She was doing great character work, especially when her dad was around and she was running heel. This face SmackDown champ run it pales in comparison, and it doesn't mean enough to make me think that they would bother to preserve it. I certainly wouldn't expect this champion Charlotte to knock down Asuka's undefeated streak. To me, that would be a waste of the undefeated streak. If Charlotte was winning more and having a great run with this title, I would probably be fine with that, but I just don't see it right now. So I'm going with Asuka. I hope she makes her tap out. And I hope this helps revitalize SmackDown's women's division because I would love to see some of these matches. I would love to see Asuka and Naomi go at it. I think that would be a great match. We've probably seen Asuka and Ruby Riott, but we can see it again. It's all good. You can see Asuka and Natalya. There's some great matches I think Asuka could have with the women's division over the next half a year or so, or however long she holds the title. Especially if we bring other women up from NXT. I think that's the better way to go. I just don't see a reason to keep the belt on Charlotte when she's not doing anything useful with it at this exact moment. I definitely hope we don't go there. I know Mr. Magus disappeared, doing fun stuff. Trying to see what the next match down is. Ooh, the next match is the Raw Women's Championship. Alexa Bliss, champion, defending against Nia Jax. I've not been paying much attention to this storyline, but I would probably go with Nia Jax. I think she's been a complete monster for the last year or so.
Okay, I've just been told I'm a pig, and now I'm done.
All right. I wish I would have brought some more water.
It's fine. I've got some and some alcohol.
How does that help me? What are you talking about?
But no, I was hearing what you said something about the women's thing.
No, I'm going to pause and grab another bottle of water.
Do so, because I want to kind of talk about the women's championship, because I really think that they need to, like, again, the ordering of matches, while this is just a list of what's going on, they really fucking need to make sure this is one of the main event matches. It has to be one of the last 4 matches of the whole pay-per-view, because I don't think that you can keep like putting the way they plan their pay-per-views is weird to me. It's been weird for the last year how they just constantly separate these different titles in these weird spots. Like I remember last pay-per-view tag team match was one of the lead-off matches, or at least one of the earlier matches, and it's like I understand that in Vince's head, tag team matches aren't as important as they used to be, but you know, it's the tag team championship. Tag team championship should be a very, very important title. It's like, again, this is old man talk, but growing up, most important champions were, of course, the most important being the WWE Championship. Second most important title kind of flopped between Intercontinental and tag matches, but those were the top 3 titles. And then when they start adding on extra titles, you would say something like maybe the U.S. title was the next, and then it'll be a fight between European and Cruiser. Usually European was next, but those were usually the last 5 matches anyway. All those titles, it was always title matches, unless it was such a big star grudge that they had to kind of put the star grudge maybe as the 3rd next to last match. But now it's just random. It's like they decide what the star match is. It's like, I really feel like you're right. They're going to make Roman versus Brock the match. Just like last year, Roman versus The Undertaker was the match when it shouldn't have been the match.
No, just no respect for the titles. Just whatever they feel like is the match they want. And that's why I was, back when Punk was champion and Cena versus Rock, I think Cena versus Rock was the main event of that show with no title involved. I know that was a dream match, but come the fuck on. No, don't do that. Especially since, actually, I think during that reign, Punk did not main event a lot of pay-per-views as champion. I remember one in particular. I think it was Over the Limit. Punk versus Bryan for the title. That match is fucking awesome. Do you think it main evented? No. John Cena versus John Laurinaitis was the main event of that show. They just decide what they feel like is the match, and then they just roll like that.
Yeah, it's dumb. It's ridiculous.
But yeah, Oscar, fuck you.
Yeah, Oscar should win it. Although it would be fucking ridiculous that Oscar finally loses at WrestleMania.
It wouldn't bother me if she lost at a WrestleMania, just not against this Charlotte. If she lost to like the Charlotte that was the Raw heel champion during that run, I would have been like, yes, because that is the heelish shit you could do, and she was having an epic run. Not this Charlotte, not this reign. I'm not feeling it. Wouldn't make any sense.
Yeah, nah, no. But I mean, I will say this. Even though it's obvious, it's not obvious that Asuka's gonna win.
What's not obvious to me is how good the match is actually gonna be.
That's the thing. It's like it's one of those where everybody probably figures Asuka's gonna win, but it's like the how, the what, the when.
Because I feel like people just see those two names and just assume like it's gonna be a great match, and I'm like, I hope it's a great match. I don't know if they've ever wrestled before. I'm curious to see how they actually work together, because sometimes two great names don't necessarily make a great match. That's not always the case that they have a great match. I'm not saying I think that they're going to have a bad match. I don't have any reason to think that match will be bad. I'm just curious how their styles will actually mesh.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully it's a good match. All right, next match. SmackDown Tag Team Champions. The Usos versus the New Day versus the Bludgeon Brother. Again, this is the list. I don't know if this is going to be the.
Oh no! Before I hopped off, I had mentioned Alexa Bliss and Nia Jax.
No, that's actually listed lower, which I find funny.
Well, I don't think I gave a prediction anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Okay. I mean, we can still revisit. I mean, shit, I didn't hear it, so. But all right. I feel like the Usos are still going to have the belts, although I would like to see the Bludgeon Brothers have it only because they just like to beat people's asses, hurt people.
Was that match confirmed? It's Usos versus the Bludgeon Brothers?
The Usos versus the New Day versus the Bludgeon Brothers. It's a triple match.
I don't want that.
Yeah, it should be a triple threat match, although it's a good way to get the Bludgeon Brothers some pub. Because we've had the Usos versus the New Day several times.
I guess I assumed that this was going to be like the time, and they were just gonna have this final match, and then maybe the Bludgeon Brothers would come in afterwards and fuck them up. I don't know. I guess the reason I don't like it is because it just feels like there's too many group-based matches.
Yeah, they do have a lot of large groups.
Which makes it feel like they're just doing that in order to get everybody on the card, which I want everybody to have a WrestleMania moment, but I don't know.
This is another thing, too, I hate about WrestleMania, because it's like 6 hours long now. And it's like, again, this could end up being one of those. I forgot to mention that earlier, but you know, a lot of these matches that we named could, like, with the exception of the Triple H one, because Triple H is not going to push himself off the main card. And I don't think they're going to push Daniel Bryan off the main card or AJ and Shinsuke. So I think those are the 3 safe matches. Well, Roman's safe. Roman, Shinsuke, Triple H, Daniel Bryan. I guess everything we've named up to now, even the Women's Championship, are safe as main event cards. But this right here, this could be some pre-show shit.
It really could, and it really shouldn't be.
No, it shouldn't.
The Usos' character work has been insane over the last year. They have made quite the turnaround.
Yo, as heels, they're fucking good.
They deserve to have this fucking match. Like they've been carrying that division for like this entire time. I'm sorry, they deserve this fucking match. But that, because I'm pretty sure they said in a promo they've never had like a WrestleMania match, which to me is mind blowing. I feel like I need to fact check that shit, but no, they need to be on the main card. Don't do that shit. Especially because this is going to be like a fucking train wreck, which is probably going to be great. It's not the kind of thing I like, but I think it could turn out pretty awesome.
Yeah. So you pick who to win?
Yeah, I think I'm going with the Usos. I don't feel like it's the Bludgeon's time, and I don't feel like we really need to see New Day 18-time champions or whatever the fuck they are at this point.
Actually, it's funny because it will only be like the 3rd time, I think.
Will it really?
Yeah.
I guess because their title reign actually lasted a long time. Because I was thinking
very long. Yeah, but I think they've only been 2, at most 3-time champions. So, yeah, no, I really believe this is the 3rd time. Which
I was thinking that's good because, like, you look at somebody like Charlotte or Sasha, and they've each held the women's title like at least 3 times each, I think.
Although, to be fair, Charlotte had better runs than Sasha. Sasha's been the Miz of.
Yes, she has. But my point was going to be that WWE a lot of times shift these titles around too often. Because when you can say somebody like Sasha is like a 3-4-time champion, whatever the fuck she is, I don't remember what her number is. She's only been on the main roster a few years now. She's already held the title that many times. The same thing with Charlotte. Like, I think that is a result of them switching the titles too much when they're that young and they've only been on the main roster a couple of years and they've already held the title that many times. Because you look at older champions, they didn't hold the title so often. Trish in her entire career held the title maybe 7 times, I think it was.
Yeah.
And that was across her entire career, so we might need to slow down with that sort of thing. But yeah, I'm going with the Usos.
Yeah, I think the Usos are going to retain too.
I
see no reason for them to lose the belt. Yeah. I can't believe that I actually am a fan of them acting like thugs.
Bro, because everything, when they come out and they walk out, just the way they look at the crowd, the way they're dressed, the way they walk, the way they, bro, commitment. That's the look of confidence, bro.
Like, you're being so stereotypical about your race, sir. Stop it.
I mean, what's stereotypical about gangster Samoans? Like,
A lot. If you actually like,
I don't know any Samoan motherfuckers.
That's the thing. It is funny because in the 90s we kind of know a lot about it. Because if you, I forget the name of it, but there's actually a 90s, like late 80s, early 90s Samoan gangster rap group that was very prevalent. So we kind of have so like I grew up knowing about Samoan gangsters. Yeah, it's a real thing. It's like y'all, they brought that shit back.
Well, it's fresh for me.
Yeah, no, Samoan, like, yeah, the Samoan thug thing, they didn't steal it. They got it from, quote unquote, their heritage.
Well,
especially since they're from where Samoan thugs originated from. It's California, which makes it even worse.
At least they're not in that face paint shit doing that tribal dance, which I didn't hate.
They hop
much. I didn't think it was insanely stupid. Maybe if they weren't dressed like that with their little colorful shorts and shit, like.
Well, it's also the music too, and the whole you say ooh, we say so. Yeah, you say ooh, you say so. Shit, that kind of made it.
I feel like it could have.
But I love when they did the haka part. It was cool. It's just like, yeah, it kind of degenerated after the dance.
Yeah,
I always love hakas. Like, if you've ever watched, have you ever watched rugby?
No.
Oh my God. One of the most fear-inducing things is to watch the New Zealand national rugby team do their haka. That shit looks like they're seriously inviting you to get your ass beaten into a bloody pulp.
I like when they did it, because like this idea that they were warriors going into battle, like I didn't mind it. I think because they had to have that colorful shit instead of just making it black, and they had these colorful shorts and they're fucking around.
That's the thing about the New Zealand team. They call them the All Blacks because that's all they wear is all black uniform. And like you just see these like big fucking ass New Zealanders just like screaming at you, making the tribal banner, and like looking at you like they're about to eat your ass.
Yeah, that shit could have worked. But these Usos are fucking great. When they come out, I just stop what I'm doing and listening, because they cut good promos consistently, which freaks me out because I don't recall ever wanting to listen to them talk before.
Because they never really talked. That's the thing. They always did the haka thing, and they never really did mic work. But they can do. They're like their dad. If you actually let them get on the mic, they're pretty damn good.
Yep. But Usos.
Yeah. Yeah, those thugs. I think Usos going to win too. All right, next match listed is Intercontinental Champion The Miz versus Seth Rollins versus Finn Balor. Why is this match happening? I don't know. I feel like The Miz is just there just because he has the belt. I feel like they could have just did a Seth Rollins, Finn Balor storyline if they wanted to, but The Miz has to be involved because one of them is going to get that belt.
So did you watch that match between Rollins and Balor last night?
No, I didn't.
I was glancing at it. It seemed like a fine match, but something that like caught my ear, and I don't think, don't read too deeply into this, but it was like a weird way that it was said. Like it was those two, and Miz is on the announcer's table and stuff. Congrats to him, he had his baby and all that shit. And Seth wins that match, and it was like a great match, I guess, from what I could glance at it. And Cole says something like, all this mayhem or whatever, when you add Miz into the mix, and I just like stopped. I'm like, what do you mean you add Miz? He's the champion. You are adding the other two motherfuckers. This entire build.
Holdover champion. He is the guy who holds the belt until they're ready to put it on somebody else and see if they can get some heat with it.
This shit. Disrespectful. We talked about Lesnar keeping the Universal title hostage. Miz said something once some weeks back that, the IC title is the one that matters on Raw. Not really. But in effect, yeah, because you don't have a Universal title on Raw, so his is the major title. Respect that shit.
No, I agree with him in a way, because again, it's generally like him holding it until they're ready to try to push somebody up. Because that's what they did with Dean beating him at one point.
But he actually cares about that title in character. When Reigns took the IC title, there were times I forgot he was the IC champion because he didn't seem to give a fuck about that belt.
Miz was like, "Give me my belt back."
It's like, you've been holding it for me.
I don't want this shit. Give it here. Like, yeah.
He comes out in these fucking suits with that like title glistening. I don't know if he polishes that shit or something, but like it always looks extra shiny when it's on his fucking shoulder. Like,
I think he does because he actually had. Because I think the original one that he actually won, I remember hearing somewhere. He actually has that shit hanging somewhere in his house. He cares about that shit.
He's one of the few people I get the sense actually cares about that title. So I'm going with the Miz to retain. Fuck these guys. These two bearded CrossFit motherfuckers. Get them out of here, man. Somebody out here disrespecting the Miz. Fuck these guys.
If the Miz wins, it'll be hilarious because I don't think they have the stones to do that.
I
think it's going to be Rollins. I think Rollins is going to fucking curb stomp somebody into the ground.
Fuck these guys.
Actually, no. I think what's going to happen is Baylor's going to coup de grace Miz, and then he's going to get hit by the curb stomp.
What's gonna happen is Maurice is gonna come out and throw the baby at one of them as a distraction.
Oh my god, if she does some dumb shit like that, that would be awesome. But no. Especially since he has a Mr. Ross too, yeah, he's losing. Sorry.
This guy comes out in suits because he's a champion. You're not coming out here looking like some fucking bum. What the fuck is Seth wearing? This goddamn t-shirt. And this Balor guy, shave that shit.
Jacket, like, dude, the leather jacket.
Blue leather? What kind of fucking...
Well, I guess he'll come out as a demon this time, though. Since it's
Get these motherfuckers out of here.
It would be nice if they let the Miz keep going, because the Miz is
They
awesome.
should. These two are not champion material. They do not dress the part. They don't look the part. Fuck these guys, man. Miz, all day. That's my prediction.
Okay. I picked Seth, but yeah, I would love to see Miz win. All right, next they have listed United States Champion Randy Orton. By the way, when did he get that fucking belt? I don't even remember that shit.
I think it was whatever pay-per-view that was where...
It's funny, the one pay-per-view I think I didn't watch.
Wasn't it the one Charlotte and Riot went at each other with?
Yeah, I think I only watched that match and watched that and another match and...
Yeah, I didn't watch. I did not watch the U.S. title match, so I was surprised.
Yeah. So yeah, U.S. champion Randy Orton versus Bobby Roode versus Jinder Mahal versus Rusev. Yeah, no. Again, with the group matches, it's just ridiculous. That's 3 straight group matches we just named. It's one thing if it's a tag team match like Shane and Daniel versus Kevin and Sami.
So I kind of want to go with Handsome Rusev because I feel like maybe they are listening.
He needs his belt back. He needs his fucking belt back.
But that's actually the reason that I'm somewhat doubting they would, because this would be his 3rd run with that belt.
Rusev's gonna win. It's his belt. It's his fucking belt. It's always been his belt since he first had it. And he went on that 100 and something.
He is another one of those people that actually gives a fuck about being that champion.
Yes.
I'm going with Rude. I figure maybe because I couldn't figure out why they would take the title off him unless it's just to give him this WrestleMania win. I don't fucking know. Like,
yeah. No, we need Rusev Day. I need him to come out in another tank too.
Bruh.
He needs to be in the tank. In fact, no, he shouldn't come out in the tank. Fucking what's his name should come out in the tank singing.
Just driving down.
In English, yeah. Just singing Rusev Day. And then Rusev should follow in a fucking like missile launcher or some shit.
You should walk out in front of the tank and then it like busts out like an explosion of confetti or something.
In fact, when Aiden English finished Rusev Day, he fires the cannon and out comes Rusev. Bam.
I'm so hot you brought that up because when he did that shit, he lost that match with Cena, which he shouldn't have.
Yeah,
you can't come out with a tank and lose a match.
Like Cena came out with the all stars and stripes bullshit. Like, okay, I get it. Ha ha ha. Nah, he came out and was like, I'm going to war with the tank, motherfucker. Fucking up your shit.
He deserved to win just based on that. I'm still going with Rude, but I'll pop if Rusev wins.
Just don't let Jinder. If anything, I mean, Randy win, okay, whatever. But if Jinder wins, fuck that dude, fuck wrestling, fuck it all. I think I would turn the pay-per-view off at that point if Jinder Mahal gets another goddamn belt.
Yeah, I mean, I don't need the lazy anti-American thing, which you could argue get with Rusev, but it kind of works with Rusev.
No, but he's gone from that. I mean, it's the fucking Rusev Day. He's just like celebrating himself. He's like, fuck my country. Fuck the like anti-USA shit.
He doesn't do that, but I can see some writer being like, well, he's Russian and he's got the US title, so
just be about Rusev all day, every day. Rusev.
Get the Rusev calendar for you.
Yo, for real? Nah, what I need is what's the name of his character on Southpaw Wrestling? Chicken Bob or Chicken George or whatever. I need that. I need that t-shirt.
I thought you were gonna say his name from Up Up Down Down or whatever. What he called himself? What do he call himself? Like he called himself Reigns or something because Reigns never loses or some shit like that. Like this guy's petty as fuck.
He's the best. I'm telling you.
Yeah, he does not get enough credit because he is funny as fuck.
But he is. He is because he really, really is into his shit.
This guy's the best.
It's great. You don't get enough of that.
I'm still going Rude, but
yeah, I guess I'll concede and say Rude, even though I want Rusev. Either one of those two would be happy with me, though. So. By the way, what the fuck is a glorious intro going to be this year?
He should come out on like a white stallion.
He should something. He has to do something really immaculate. No, just drop him from the heavens on us. That's glorious on a spinning pedestal from the air.
He's another one, man. Like have an actual story with this guy, and you'll get more mileage out of him.
Yeah, fucking Bobby Roode is fucking ridiculous.
I feel like I don't know. I feel like the crowd isn't as into him as they would be if he was actually in a storyline of some kind.
Yeah, he's always matched with this. Like it's him and Rusev are always matched with the wrong people. I don't know. Yeah. All right, next match: the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I don't know exactly who's in this, so I can't make a real prediction.
I was gonna say, who did they even like announce?
I know Matt is, so maybe Matt will win it. I only know Matt is going to be in there because he wants to procure this statue. So,
is there any prize this time outside of just the statue? Yes, no. I'm looking up to see if there's like a listing of people.
Actually, yeah. Let me click on the link because they have a link.
Maybe most of these guys are supposed to be surprises. Because I only see like a list of confirmed names here, and none of them are. Primo Cologne is still in WWE.
Yeah, the Colognes are still there.
Doing what? I haven't seen this guy's
like Primo. I guess they got over the whole go to Puerto Rico thing.
The shining star of the Caribbean.
All right, so the confirmed names that I see: Dolph, Baron, Mojo, Tyler, Fandango, Ty Dillinger. I think he's wasting Ty Dillinger. They would try to push him and then they just waste him. Dash and Wilder, Woken Matt, Goldust, Heath Slater. Of course, Heath Slater's there. Why wouldn't he? Rhino, Zack Ryder. Zack Ryder gonna get his revenge against Mojo. And Primo.
Man.
Since Primo is there, that Epico is gonna be there as well.
Slater needs to win that match, yo. Like, he's got kids.
I was just about to say, he's got kids to feed, so he could win.
Oh my god. Just based on that list of names.
Primo. Because why not? Have a meaningless wrestler win a meaningless goddamn match.
Ty Dillinger.
He probably will.
Because I guess depending on who comes out of that U.S. title match with the title,
will get a run at it.
I think Ty would be. I mean, I think he probably already had. No, I don't know if he had a title match for that yet, but I think
he had one on TV, but not really. It didn't come to fruition. I think somebody interrupted.
I think he's fine for that though. So, I mean, this is
he
me.
Couldn't even get into Royal Rumble. Yeah, let him win. Y'all wouldn't even let him get into Royal Rumble because fucking Sami Zayn decided to be a bitch. Oh, that was so hilarious. Him and Kevin Owens just jumped the shit out of Tyler. And Sammy was just like, "Fuck you, Sammy. I'm taking this."
Oh my God. Yeah, like that. Fuck. This match is meaningless anyway. Give him the receipt on that. Like,
yeah, yeah, have that. And then after that, they said the women's battle royal, Royal Rumble, or whatever. The only names they have listed as confirmed are Sasha, Natalya, Lana, Ruby Riott, Sarah Logan, Liv Morgan, Becky Lynch, Naomi, Bayley, Mickie James, Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville, Carmella. Actually, that's like even just with just the confirmed names, it's fucking ridiculously stacked list.
I was about to say, like, that's the only name. Isn't that all of the women on the main roster?
Well, yeah, they're gonna flesh it out with some other people. I mean, and to be fair, they could bring up a lot of NXT people. Like, bring up the BFFs. What's her name? Oh shit, I always forget her name. The two British chicks.
I think they're Australian.
Are they Australian?
I think so. Peyton Royce and
Peyton Royce
and her friend.
Yeah. Funny, you could
whatever her name is.
When you say Peyton Royce, like, yeah, I know her, but what's the other girl?
It's girl. It's Peyton Royce.
No, I mean we can get your girl to get some redemption against fucking Nia, maybe if Nia shows up.
Which one is my
Kylie
girl?
Sane?
Is she gonna be in that match?
She should be. She needs to get redemption. In fact, Kylie Sane should be in that match and she should win. And they should have Nia participate even though she has another match. Just because she needs to get her revenge against the mean girl. Who wrecked her in the fucking Women's Royal Rumble.
So there's actually a lot of good names in this match, which is weird because the men's one has like no good names.
Yeah, this is like all the cannon fodder for the men.
But the women's, we have Banks, Natalya, who was just champion, Riott, who was wonderful, Becky Lynch, Naomi, Bayley. Like, you have most of the top women in the women's division.
Yeah, Mickie James, Carmella. Did Carmella cash in? I forget.
Mickey's fine as fuck.
And as my friend calls her, Milfy James. Like, yeah, she's fucking ridiculous.
God damn. Sorry. I forgot that Carmella was even holding.
Yeah, has she,
back to you said
that's
that.
what I'm saying. Has she cashed in yet? Like,
I don't think so.
You know, she don't have that long. She needs to hurry up and cash in.
She needs to just.
Oh shit! I just thought about that. She's gonna fuck up WrestleMania.
How?
Huh?
How? What is she possibly gonna do?
She could cash in on Asuka or fucking what's her name? Charlotte.
That's not happening. First of all, you need to drop this whole Charlotte shit. She's not going to win that match. Second.
No, but I'm saying it doesn't matter. Charlotte doesn't have to win it. Remember, we've seen it happen with the men. Roman didn't beat Brock. Brock didn't beat Roman. Seth came in out of nowhere and beat both of them. So, you know, hey.
Holy shit. Yeah. You could get out of WrestleMania without Asuka as champion and not having the title.
Yeah.
You know what? I don't care. It wouldn't bother me. Fuck it. I feel like
again, you have another match she can cash in on because she can cash in on Alexa and Nia.
Does her shit apply to Raw champions?
Your cash in, as far as I know, applies to whatever championship. At least that's how it used to be. I don't know if it's still like that, but it used to be any championship you want to cash in on, you can cash in on. Because that's how CM Punk got his first what's his name? World title. Because he cashed in on I think it was Dolph, after Dolph had won his match.
But were they brand split at the time?
Yeah, I believe it were split. It was split because they had the two belts. They had the WWE champion. Yeah, it was because they had the WWE championship and the World Heavyweight champion, and Dolph happened to be the World Heavyweight champion at that moment.
Yeah, but the split was kind of like theoretical around that point, right? Because I mean, you saw them on the same show a lot of
but
times.
like only one belt was represented on one, so I think it was. Yeah, I think it still was like that weird split shit that CM Punk came in and just decided I'm going to cash in on this and become this.
But I wouldn't mind if Carmella did this because she's been holding this fucking briefcase for.
It's about to run out. She has until fucking Money in the Bank, which guess what? Next month, Carmella. So it would make sense because it's the exact same thing that Self did. Self held it until WrestleMania.
Yeah, if she doesn't use it at this for holding it for this long, what was the point? And again, this is the first women's Money in the Bank winner. So what's gonna happen? She's gonna lose. She's not gonna use it. Like it's weird for you to waste this.
Yeah, she doesn't do it during WrestleMania. There's no sense in her doing it any other time. Just let it fall off because if she does it on a like fucking SmackDown or she'll and that's the thing. I don't think she has to do it on Spike. She can show up on a Raw.
I feel like she should do it at Mania because I feel like she should use it and actually win because it's an important one. And I feel like that's the opportunity to get away with her doing this without fucking up Asuka too much.
You know what?
And it gets heat. So.
You know what? It would make more sense to now if they put one of the championship matches for the women before the Royal Rumble. So I would like to see her do it before then and then show up to the Royal Rumble with the belt. So everybody will want to whip her ass, just to whip her ass. It's like to draw more heat on her.
I'm changing my prediction for Asuka versus Charlotte to Carmella.
I mean, again, it can happen. We saw it. Seth did it. Why can't she? Even better, if she does it, James Ellsworth needs to show up and fucking interfere.
He just jump out of the crowd and shit.
Like, yeah, he's just fucking just like in people's face. I was like, "What the fuck are you doing here?" And then she like cheats, hits the like champ with the fucking thing, and then like, "Here, take this, count it," and boom, and then he just walks off.
You thought I wasn't gonna be back? Of course I came back. Duh.
Yeah, that would be fucking hilarious if that happened. Who do you think is gonna win this fucking Royal Rumble?
Right.
I was about to say you're gonna say Ruby, aren't you?
No. Maybe. I mean, Mickey James is fine as fuck.
I know.
I mean, but I mean, it goes back to my point. Like, this is a stacked battle royal for no apparent reason. Sadly, I don't think Riot will win this. I feel like it could be either Banks or Bailey because they're the only women in this entire thing that have any kind of story happening right now.
Yeah, because Riot's run at the championship is done. So
it's just insanely depressing to me. I feel like my passion pick is going to be Riot, but momentum-wise, nobody.
I say Sonya Deville.
Really?
They're going to put the thug on, so it's like she can start she could start some type of beef with one of the champions.
It would be nice to elevate at least one of them a little bit.
Yeah, let her get her thug on and just like beat the shit out of everybody on the roster. Let her do what they should have did with what's her name, Karma, when she was on the roster, and just let her fucking destroy the world.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Actually, you know, fuck it. Yeah, I'm going with Riot because I'm going to just assume that Bailey and Banks will
eliminate each other. Yeah,
knock each other out. So
continue their feud.
And Becky Lynch is not going to win because she's wearing that jobber shit. Like, that fucking shit she's wearing, like, oh my god, that fire shit.
Maybe she'll put back on the alloy gear.
I like that. I mean, it was a unique look. This looks stupid. This looks like something you dress up a jobber in. Yeah. Granted, I kind of got a thing for redheads, so she can't really do wrong with me, but I think it looks stupid.
Yeah, it's the flame thing ain't working.
I saw that and I was like, they don't care about her at all anymore. They're not even trying to give her decent clothes.
Yeah.
I'm going with Riot.
All right, so you got Riot and I got Sonya Deville. I'm going off the wall with my pick. All right, so this match, I need to know what the fuck's going to happen for real. You have Sheamus and Cesaro versus Braun and whoever he fucking chooses to wrestle with, which we could see a one-man tag team champion. He might just decide I'm wrestling with Braun. What the fuck do you mean?
So you said you didn't see Raw last night, right?
No, he did pick a partner.
No, so he comes out and he's talking. Braun comes out.
Oh yeah, somebody told me he threw somebody through something.
No, he threw one of those jobbers through a wall, which was like unnecessary. Who was it? I don't remember what the fucking guy's name is. It's one of those jobber dudes. That dude with that big ass losing streak.
Yeah, Kurt Hawkins.
Kurt Hawkins. He's like, maybe you should pick me. And Braun is like, well, you know, what's your winning streak like, bro? And he's like, not great, but this could be my big break. So then Braun throws him through a wall and says, there is your big break. And then he just...
The fact that Braun just like brutalizes people is ridiculous.
I mean, through the whole wall, though. Not even like just straight through the wall. I'm like, he didn't deserve that. He was just asking, bro.
Like, I'm just trying to get a paycheck, man. Come on.
He's just trying his best. But before that, the champions were in the ring, and Braun comes out and he's like talking from up there, and he's like, I've got my partner, and he's a lot like me. And he goes to the back and he comes out in like his white coat and glasses, and he's like, I'm Brain Strowman. You know, you met my brother Braun. I'm like,
oh my god! Like, I didn't expect much from Braun except for just to be some muscle that they brought in, but he's fucking exceeded all my expectations.
The sad thing was, like, right before he said he was going to the back, whatever. I was like, he should just go to WrestleMania in a mask and just like put it on and take it off when he feels like he wants to tag out. And then he did that shit. So, okay, first prediction. Who is his fucking partner going to be?
Braun. I really feel like he's just going to wrestle by himself.
But the announcers keep saying that he needs a partner or that he can't compete. Which, if that is the case, he shouldn't have been allowed to compete in the match in the first place that he won to be able to challenge for these titles. No.
Okay, so who could come back that can be his partner? Then that's the question. Who we haven't seen in a while that can be his partner?
Joe.
Yo, that would be a fucking like vicious team up though, because you just have two ass whippers. Don't give like not one fuck.
I'm assuming he must be about ready by now. I guess is the goal to just give him some throwaway.
But no, I feel like it wouldn't be somebody who's already on the roster. I feel like it would be a returning person.
Maybe it's somebody from NXT. Killian Dane. No, Lars Sullivan.
I mean, it could be somebody from TNA because there's a lot of people who are leaving TNA. That there's speculation that are coming.
Mm-hmm. Maybe it'll be one of the women. That'd be great. Nah.
You should just make it Nia.
If it wasn't, yeah, fuck. I don't know. I'm gonna go with Joe. I don't see anybody else that I can think of, unless
I feel like he's gonna go solo, but
unless it's just like a complete joke, like they bring back Hornswoggle or some shit.
Nah, I don't think it's gonna be a joke. I think it's gonna be somebody who we're not thinking about returning to WWE. That's just all of a sudden gonna be like, yo, I'm back. How y'all doing? And just like fuck us like over.
Bray?
No, I don't think it's gonna be Bray's return. I think Bray is actually gonna return in the Royal Rumble. It's like Woken Bray or some shit like that.
You don't think we're gonna see him all the way to the Rumble?
Yeah, not to the Andre the Giant.
The Battle Royal.
Battle Royal.
Yeah, say like the Rumble is like a year from now.
Oh no, not that. Sorry, Battle Royal.
I mean, that would be impressive to keep him off TV that long.
No, if he's not in the Battle Royal, he's going to be in whatever other significant match that Matt shows up in a pay-per-view sometime.
So we'll see how that goes. I'm going with Joe. I just don't see. And as far as winning that match, fuck. I feel no. I'm going with the Bar. Fuck these guys.
Yeah, I feel like the Bar is going to win, regardless of who his partner is.
Stop taking the belts off these young men. Oh my! They're big and buff, and they look great as champions. Stop taking the belts.
Yeah, because they can take losing, but you can't keep doing it.
Especially for
which is going to get tiresome.
You make these shit reasons. They took them off for the Shield coming back with Ambrose and Rollins, and they took them off again for Rollins and Curtis Bastard. And then
Jason
you're gonna take them off again now? No, stop doing that shit.
Yeah, no.
That's my prediction. Yeah. My prediction is that Joe and this brain guy are gonna lose to the Bar because they don't just set the bar; they are the bar. Yo, when they do that shit where they point at each other, I'm like, these guys are fucking nerds.
Yeah, they are. Somebody I saw tweet the other day, like they just literally real life Rocksteady and Bebop.
Oh my god!
All right, next match that's listed is the Raw's Women's Champion Alexa Bliss versus her former BFF Nia Jax.
I'm going with Nia.
I feel like they're gonna finally give Nia her belt because I feel like they're tired of her threatening them. I feel like Nia literally does threaten them and like beats up Creative for holding her back. I feel like they're tired of her abuse.
If she does, then they should because they're not. In a lot of ways, they hadn't been utilizing her properly.
No, they haven't, especially since you're trying to build her as this monster. It's kind of like the Tamina thing where they tried to build Tamina as sort of a monster, and Tamina never really got over it. Like, y'all just fucking stop misutilizing. Although I love Alexa as a champion because she's such a shit heel.
She's really made herself like synonymous with championships in general because she did the same thing on SmackDown. Like she's been a good, at least character-wise, champion on both shows.
Yeah, it's like you may not think she's the best wrestler in the world, but you fucking hate. You want to see her lose. You get built up for her matches.
As a matter of fact, she's the first, and she's the first woman to hold both those belts, isn't she?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, she is.
And we don't acknowledge that enough. That's an accomplishment. And as far as people saying she's not the best wrestler, maybe not, but she's good. She's fine. She's sick of people talking shit about her. She's good. She's not doing anything wrong.
Yeah, she does what she needs to do to carry a match and make it look entertaining. And I have to say, I like her finishing move. I mean, it's not the most creative move, but shit, Twisted Bliss is cool.
It's kind of cool name too. Better than Sparkle Splash or whatever the fuck it was when she first did it.
Right.
I think she's come a long way. I dig it. I don't think she's going to win. I'm mildly annoyed that Asuka went to challenge Charlotte for two reasons. One, I was actually kind of interested to see what kind of match her.
Oh, if Asuka would have fought Bliss, she would have lost, and it would have been great because everybody would have hated it. Bliss would have generated so much heat. She would have cheated to win. That would have been awesome.
Either way, I was just curious to see what kind of match they could do. But more to the point, it was like disrespectful to Bliss, which doesn't make sense to me because Bliss's title reign has been better than Charlotte's.
Yeah.
By a lot.
It's been better than, with the exception of probably Naomi, it's been better than every woman who's held the belt since she got that shit.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, as far as like interest in the champion and like actual stories and all that shit, Charlotte has done nothing, and Bliss has been on a tear as a champion. Yeah. So it was weird to me. And I'm not saying Asuka could not have picked Charlotte. I'm just saying she should have just done that in the first place and not done this whole I picked you because I wanted a challenge, so I just like stopped fucking with Alexa, because that's disrespectful to Alexa. She's doing a great job as a champion.
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
Did not deserve that. That said, Nia's gonna pound her to the fucking ground.
Yeah, I feel like she's gonna finally get her comeuppance,
which is fine too. Nia's doing great stuff. I wish she didn't talk so much. I don't feel like
she's not a great talker. No,
I don't feel like she's a horrible talker. It just feels like it doesn't fit. Like, it's not. You can't book her as a monster and then she's talking the way she talks.
Yeah, she's. Again, they should have did her like Awesome Khan, aka Karma, where like you never heard Karma really talk. You just knew that she was a scary chick that had just destroyed people.
You didn't need to. And they should have kept the name Awesome Khan or bought it or whatever, because that's a good name. Fuck Karma.
Yeah, Awesome Khan was so fucking good.
But yeah,
and now she's on a TV show.
Nia Jax, new Raw Women's Champion. Yeah, she's going to run roughshod over that division.
If she gets the belt, she needs to. She needs to just. It's same thing with Braun. If either one of them gets a belt, they just need to let them fucking maul the world and don't care. Like, even on promos, on segments, just like fucking have somebody cutting a promo for a one-on-one match against some random person and just have like fucking Braun or Nia come in and just destroy them. It's like, I'm a champ. I can do what the fuck I want. You know, something like that.
Braun needs more opportunities to say, I'm not finished with you. So,
oh my god! Like, honestly, at first when he started that, I was like, "This might end up being kind of corny," but I just love every time he does that shit, because it's just like, even when it's in the most dumbest situation, this is like when he came out the goddamn ambulance, and he's yelling,
"I'm not finished with you yet, bro."
You're fucking out of control, sir. Calm down.
Yo. You know that puts the fear of God in you. Like, if you're just walking down the hall and you heard that voice say, "I'm not finished with you yet," you would just start running.
You turned around, you looked to see who was saying that. You're like, "Yo, what the fuck? I don't know. When did we start it? Shit!" Like,
I don't know if he's talking to me, but I'm not waiting to find out.
Exactly. Oh my god, Braun he's a treasure. That man, again. I didn't really think much when they first brought him in as just like the strong man for the Wyatt family, as the quote unquote black sheep, as they like to call him. But he's fucking grew into his fucking role. This is one Vince push that I am 100% behind.
But it almost bothers me because it's like, that's how you push a monster. He rarely loses. He's just beating the fuck out of people indiscriminately.
Yeah, it's like, even when he loses, it takes like the power of, like, it takes the hand of God. Like, again, the ambulance thing. Roman literally had to bury this man in a goddamn ambulance and run the ambulance over to end him. And he still was coming back at you.
So, the Miz and them put this man in the garbage. And in the garbage truck, and the next day he comes back like he possessed the garbage truck somehow and drove it to the next arena. And then he just comes back out of the garbage truck.
And again, I'm not finished with you. Like, what? I fucking buried you in garbage. You were literally trash a moment ago. What happened?
He didn't even bother to come out. He just rode in the truck to the next show.
Oh my
What
God.
is this guy's problem?
Braun Strowman is the most amazing thing they've had in a while. Braun Strowman is what they fucking could have did with Brock Lesnar if Brock Lesnar wasn't being such a goddamn diva. Like, shit. Oh my God. Put a belt on that man, please, and just let him go.
Oh
please, for the love of God. I would love to see that. Okay, so the last match that's listed, which makes no sense, and which is why I said I don't think this card is in sequential order, is Cedric Alexander versus Mustafa Ali for the Cruiser Championship Tournament Finals, which I couldn't even give him a cruiserweight match title. You can't call it the Tournament Finals. You can't just say the Cruiserweight title match.
I mean, but they had a big old tournament for it.
Okay, but this is it. This is
and
for all. Okay, no, because that I guess they kind of did acknowledge it, calling it the championship tournament. No, they didn't, because it's like last night I watched the NCAA men's basketball championship. They didn't call it the championship tournament finals. They called it the national championship game. So why couldn't this be the Cruiserweight Championship match? No, I don't accept that.
Maybe to make people watch the tournament. It wasn't like CWC level, but there's a couple good matches in there. I thought Roderick Strong versus I wanted to call him Kenta, but Hideo Itami was a good match.
Kobayashi.
That was good. I don't know who the fuck that Kalisto boy was wrestling, but that shit was pretty good too. Lindsay Dorado and Kalisto was a good match. There's a few good matches in that tournament, actually.
Yeah.
I like to think that they might be making a turnaround here.
Yeah, although I feel like this match isn't going to be pre-game, like pre-show.
And it shouldn't be.
It's the championship. And you keep talking about how I'm not sure about, 205. It's not doing as well. You're not giving it a chance to do well.
Yeah. I mean,
burying it in the worst time slots.
I feel like doing that is the worst decision possible, because if you want to convince us that it's important, don't put it on the not important part of the show that nobody watches.
Yeah.
During the part where people aren't even in the arena yet.
Yeah.
Which,
honestly, I think if I had to look through this list of matches, what should be pre-show stuff? Of course, the Battle Royals, because those are fucking inconsequential.
Yeah, fuck it. Just do both of those and let everything else be on the show.
Yeah.
Because I don't think anybody really cares who wins. It's not like those matches have any prize, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, because everything else has some meaning. And when you think about it, it's kind of weird. Because I would say the quote-unquote non-meaning matches are the Daniel Bryan and the Ronda Rousey matches. Everything else is for a title, which is weird. You haven't seen that in a long time. And I feel like we're going to have a surprise match because they're so trying to push this whole John Cena Undertaker shit that I feel like they're going to try to bring the Undertaker out. And
I feel like I don't care to see this match.
I don't.
That dude's old as fuck.
Not only that, because if the rumors stand true, it's going to fuck me over, because one of the biggest rumors is you're going to get Undertaker, but you're not going to get regular Undertaker. You're going to get badass Undertaker.
American badass.
And part of that is because Kid Rock's being inducted into the Hall of Fame, and everybody, like a couple of people I've saw, feel like they're going to have Kid Rock do the live performance of the American Badass song.
Rolling.
Yeah, and Undertaker's going to come out. I was like, no. I don't want to see that. Fuck you, John Cena. Honestly, I feel like if he's doing all this calling out for Undertaker, this is where Bray Wyatt should return from being deleted.
That'd be great. Because I feel like this build to this match is not that good anyway. So, it doesn't make me interested in... Until you said that, I forgot that match was even possible. So, this build that they've been doing has not been making me interested in seeing this match. So... I also think it's weird that they are inducting Kid Rock into the Hall of Fame.
Again, he has to have his stars,
but he's one of those Trumpy kind of guys.
Yeah, he is, because he's running for Congress, right?
It seems like yet another association you don't want right now. I'm not saying like people who support Trump can never be on TV or nothing like that, but right now it feels like not the time.
Nah, he's gonna be on TV. He's gonna be inducted. I forgot who's doing the speech for him. Yeah, he's getting on.
But whatever. I predict Cena wins them.
You can't.
Why?
If they did fight, you can't. Because again, beyond the fact that he retired against Roman Reigns, you're gonna bring him out of retirement to lose again?
So he never said he retired though. Like people just said that.
Yeah, but come on. The whole preamble of putting your whole costume in the middle of the ring and walking away, that's a bold statement. Unless, again, this is where the American Badass thing works, because he could have been retiring the original Undertaker to return as the American Badass Undertaker. So
I think the reason that would bother me most is if it's like his last match, because I don't want his last match to be American Badass.
Right.
I liked American Badass at the time, but like that's not Undertaker. I don't know.
No, we love to see the real Undertaker intros where he has like the shit like the Druids and the lightning and shit like that are being raised up from the like beneath and shit like that. You know what I mean? Bringing out coffins.
I wouldn't hate seeing American Badass one more time, but not if it's gonna be like his last thing, or maybe do it. I don't know, at a SummerSlam or some shit, or just build more to actually doing this. Like this build is so fucking weird. I'm not really interested.
Yeah, no. If John Cena has to have a match, just have some random ass motherfucker come out. Again, have Bray come out, since you guys tried to build Bray as the next,
Bring Kota Ibushi in.
Darkness.
Just like a random like one timer. Doesn't have to be for anything. Just bring somebody from New Japan and just.
No, if you bring somebody, I don't think it should be a one timer. I think it should be somebody debuting. Definitely.
Bring Ishii.
Like, who is a free agent that can debut right now that would make a big impact?
Who knows? I don't know who they got their eye on, or who he's even free, or who I'd care to see.
Yeah, I'm trying to think who in New Japan or in ROH. TNA.
I don't care if Cena has a match. I don't feel like he's needed. I feel like this card is stacked quite a bit enough.
Yeah. And if he does have a match, I put it this way. Okay, so I named the matches I think should be on the pre-show, right?
Mm-hmm.
If one of the other matches slips to the pre-show, he's having a match. Seriously.
Which is weird because like last night he was like, the reason I'm going for the Undertaker is so nobody can say we're taking anybody's spot. Okay. If we see one of these matches on the pre-show because you're having this match,
you're taking someone's spot. Because this card is too big, it's too stacked. WrestleMania is going to start at like 5 p.m. for the pre-show, maybe 4. It's going to be like Super Bowl Sunday where you just shits on all fucking day.
They need to do away with the pre-show match, because the pre-show concept, because it's just anything that's on there, is not important. So,
yeah.
But it just occurs to me that I didn't actually give a prediction for the cruiserweight title match.
Oh shit! I didn't either. Yeah, we just glossed over that because that shit started getting into.
You were obsessed with American Badass.
No, because I think it's stupid that they're trying to build towards bringing the Undertaker back. Let the man go. He's had a great career. Let him chill. Come on.
Aside from just WrestleMania, we've also got TakeOver, which we've got a lot of wrestling that weekend. We don't need this.
Yeah, like God. I mean, Shit, just let Velveteen Dream get his shine on and not worry about the fucking old Undertaker.
Yes, do that match. Like have Cena come out and beg one more time, and then you just hear
Velveteen Dream shows up and fucking challenges him. I would fucking mark out like
DREAN. Yes. Oh my god, that, bruh, you are wasting an opportunity. Now I would be mad if Undertaker came out because you're taking Velveteen Dream's spot.
Yeah. Nah, that's cool. Now you just made me look up NXT TakeOver New Orleans just to see their matches really quick. Okay, because see, this is the thing. NXT TakeOver is going to be better because you have Andre Cien Almas against Aleister Black again. She's going to be awesome.
Also, Zelina Vega is wonderful. Oh my god.
Well, yeah, so she's awesome. So, I pick her to win, or her.
I don't just mean because she's attractive. I mean like her facial expressions, her mic skills. I just like her. She's great.
Yeah. You got that match, which is going to be awesome. You have Adam Cole versus Velveteen Dream versus Killian Dane versus Lars Sullivan versus Ricochet versus EC3. What the fuck? And this is for a new belt that they have called the North American Championship.
In a ladder match. Did you see that promo EC3 cut on the last?
He's gotten really good at his promos lately.
When he comes out like, I'm a literal human money printing machine. I'm like, what the fuck?
He used to be so shit when he came to TNA. I'm impressed by that guy's like improvement. Then you got Ember Moon versus Shayna Baszler. Oh my god, poor Ember. You're gonna get your body fucked up again.
Yeah,
you win, but you're gonna get your body
when
fucked
Baszler stomps on that arm though.
Yeah,
shit's gross.
Then you got the grudge match. Johnny Wrestling versus Tommaso Ciampa. Oh my god, I can't wait for that.
So I'm somewhat bothered this is an unsanctioned match. I want the match.
No, it's fine because they're gonna go off in this. You're gonna see some ridiculous stuff. And then you have the Undisputed Era versus the Authors of Pain versus Roderick Strong and Pete Dunne, which I find a very unusual but cool team.
What? When did that happen?
I don't know.
I don't understand. Because these were the two finalists in the Dusty Rhodes Classic. So what? They just decided to put the tag team.
Well, the problem was because Bobby Fish and what's his name won the thing, but Bobby Fish is out.
Right, but
Kyle O'Reilly. So they decided, fuck it, we're making a three-way match.
Oh, I forgot were they in the tournament?
Yeah, Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. I think they won it for the title match.
But no, they're the champions.
No, but it's going to be Adam Cole.
Right, but
who won the thing? I'm sorry, not them. Who won the under?
I don't think anybody's won it yet because I think Authors of Pain and Roderick Strong and Pete Dunne are the finalists of that tournament. So it's like, are they just not having the finals and just?
I guess not.
Putting the tag team titles as part of the match.
Yeah, because why is the Author of Pain in here?
Reveal that the winning tag team from the bracket. Oh, you know what? I think maybe they had a match on the last NXT taping and I didn't watch it. So maybe something happened.
Something must have happened.
So that they didn't have a winner, and that's why they're doing it.
It's going to be Adam Cole instead of Bobby Fish.
Yes. Which I don't like. I like Bobby Fish.
Well, Bobby Fish hurt, though.
I don't. I just mean I like.
Yeah, they make a better tag team.
Yes. But I feel like their styles are more similar.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's Adam Cole, baby.
I don't really like Adam Cole.
You don't like Adam Cole? I like Adam Cole.
I like the baby shit, but like.
No, I love Adam Cole. The WWE version, of course, isn't as cool as the ROH/indie version because they're gonna limit him some. Like he doesn't even do the Florida Keys, does he?
I don't even know who that is. I haven't seen him outside of WWE.
Yeah, that was what his finishing move. It was called the Florida Keys.
It's weird. Like he puts on good matches. He's fine on the mic. I just don't connect with this motherfucker, and I don't know why.
Well, then again, you're getting WWE version of Adam Cole. So, yeah,
I guess
there's a difference.
Actually, I guess we didn't
really. I'm watching him do the Florida Key now.
I guess we didn't put any predictions for those, but I assume Undisputed Era will win.
Yeah, because it would be kind of fucked up if they took the belts off on when their guys hurt. I don't need to see the Author Pain with the belt again. And Pete Dunne is doing fine with his British Championship. He don't need a tag team.
I mean, he is putting on tremendous matches, but
yeah,
what is happening with that division as a whole?
The British division, they just don't do enough. I mean, they don't. Let me take that back. They don't show enough on TV for you to know much about it.
Right, because this feels like every once in a while you'll see a match with him and Tyler Bate, and it's like cool. But I feel like there's a story going on in the background that we're just not aware of.
Yeah, it probably is.
That Tyler Bate guy, man.
Out of all of this, though, I'm looking forward to Gargano versus Ciampa.
This is a great card. You have just like 5 matches. All of them are must-see matches.
Right. It almost is like somebody who's competent and likes wrestling is running this.
I guess in WrestleMania's defense, though, they do have more matches that I care to see than I normally have.
They have enough people to do a better card than they normally do.
So it's weird. But Velveteen Dream needs to go up with John Cena. I don't want to see him in this fucking.
You think Velveteen Dream is going to get the North American Championship?
I don't want to. I want him to go up to the main.
By the way, why has Adam Cole got to do double duty? I just realized that. It's fucked up. Goddamn Adam Cole.
I don't want him in the match now. I want him to go up and challenge Cena. I want him to go up with his entourage of that beautiful black.
Yo, I cannot wait till he does his intro for this, because they always do extra for their like pre-WWE takeovers.
Crap, he needs to bring that entourage back. Like this buff ass motherfucker he had holding that pillow. Bro, this guy is everything.
Oh, that's Maryland's finest right there, sir.
I love it. They need to bring back that shit he was doing at first, where like somebody would try to interview him and he's like, "No, the ambiance isn't right." I think one time he dismissed a girl because like her hair wasn't up point. He's just like,
he's so fucking good. He is so fucking good. Oh man, I cannot wait. That's gonna be a good match because they're gonna have some ridiculous spots in that match.
The bad thing about takeover shows is that none of them are piss break matches.
Huh?
None of the takeover matches are piss break matches, so you gotta hold it.
Yeah, I know. You get like an hour and a half, 2 hours of just like fucking ridiculous content. Because like again, I know this isn't naturally the order of the matches, but how do you order this shit? I mean, I know how they're going to order it because they generally do traditional ordering. They're gonna probably do Cien Almos and Aleister Black last. They're gonna do Ember and Shayna before that. They'll probably do the tag team before that, and then do the North American before that. And of course, the show will be led off by Gargano, and Ciampa. But you could make an argument for like even like Gargano and Ciampa being the main event because it's such a good matchup.
I mean, it's been building.
Or you could slot the North American ladder match as a main event because you got so good names
and a new title being introduced.
Right, like you could put Ember as the fucking headliner with Shayna because that's gonna be some brutal shit. Like all of these matches are main event worthy.
Just say no, you get a good card, and I will put Velveteen Dream if he doesn't go up to challenge Cena as the winner of that match. I think he should get it because like you just have this guy who's just been on a fucking tear for like half a year at this point, or a year at least. Like what do you do? Are you going to push him to win that main title now? I mean, it's kind of a busy area with Black and Almas and maybe.
And you got so many other people who could make the jump.
Plus, where's fucking
damn it, every name on this card could make the jump for a title shot.
McIntyre? Isn't he coming back soon?
Yeah, he should be back soon from injury.
So he should get like a rematch of some kind.
So you got people who are not on the card who could probably get into the mix. Like fucking, where's Eric Young?
I need Oney Lorcan to fight Cena and just slap the dog shit out of him. Undertaker's a legend.
Yeah, there's too many people. God damn it, this is gonna be good.
Shit. But yeah, that black dude is winning the cruiserweight title.
Who's winning? Cedric.
Yes.
Yeah, I think he deserves it. Cedric deserves a run.
They all deserve for their division to matter.
Yeah.
It does seem like Cedric is overdue for winning that belt. Especially
he fucking had to put up to being squashed by Enzo and his boys. Yeah, he deserves it.
Especially since, like, when you go back to the Cruiserweight Classic, his match with Kota Ibushi is, like, the favorite match for a lot of people in that entire tournament.
Yeah.
I thought there were other very good matches, but it probably was the best match, actually, now that I think about it. Gargano Chop was a great match.
Gargano is a great match, anything. He's fucking, like, to me, he's AJ 2.0. Like, put him with anybody, he'll make that shit good. Seriously. Like, he makes...
And yet... So who wins that match, then? Hold on.
Ooh, Ciampa and Gargano? Gargano has to win. He hasn't been put over in a bit. He's lost his last couple of matches, big matches. Yeah. Plus, he needs to get the revenge because Ciampa fucked him up.
He is 4-0 against Andrade Cien Almas. Gargano is.
Not when this matters.
What? Has Gargano ever beaten Almas?
Huh?
I don't think Gargano's ever beaten Almas. So.
No, and I say because they did fight on the pay-per-view, so yeah, he did beat him when it matters. Okay.
I love that they're giving Almas wins like that, which kind of makes me hope he beats Aleister Black. Because I actually do like Almas as champion.
I actually would like to see him make the jump do a Kevin Owens and make the jump while he is champion. And just like slide in and get something like the US or the
slap Cena.
Get the Intercontinental Channel Championship. And then like him, yeah.
I don't know why I want everybody to slap Cena, but
why not?
Oh my god.
Cena seems to be agreeable at being slapped, so it's fine. But yeah, let's wrap this up because it's 11 o'clock and we've talked about wrestling longer than we talked about the actual core of the show, which is politics and social issues.
Wrestling is very political.
Again, fucking Donald Trump's in the Hall of Fame. If that's not a political statement,
and Kid Rock is going in, so I say we counted. That was a political theme to say.
Yeah, I know. By the way, shout out to the people who we do care about being in the Hall of Fame, like Mark Henry.
Somebody go get the ass.
I still say Sexual Chocolate is the best theme song. God damn it, that was the best. Oh my god. But no, the Hall of Fame shit was just ridiculous too. Mark, again, as somebody who didn't start out ever any attention in his life to be a wrestler, Mark Henry's had a hell of a run. He's had some great gimmicks.
I'm still pissed about that swerve he gave us when he was retiring.
Oh my god, that was the best in the world. I so wish they would have brought that to fruition by letting him beat fucking Cena. That would have just been the ultimate.
I got a lot left in the tank.
But the whole speech, he's just like, baby, I'm coming home. We're like, oh, Mark, go, don't go. And then he just fucked Cena up. Like, he had everybody feeling him. That was the fucking best promo I've seen in a minute. Like, damn.
That fucking pink jacket this nigga was wearing.
Right. He came out in the suit. He was all, he was prepared. Like, he was just like, I'm going out in style. Bye. I love y'all. And then wham.
Oh my god. Great shit. But I don't think we did predictions for the NXT takeover, but I don't think we have to. I think you should just enjoy that those matches are going to be fucking awesome.
I could give you my quick take. Fuck it. I think Almost still going to be champ.
Same.
I think Velveteen Dream is going to get that belt, and he's going to flourish with it because he needs to. Ricochet, EC3, and Lars, they're not even in the conversation. I think Killian's kind of not either, but yeah. No, it's going to be Velveteen Dream. He's the man.
Yep.
Ember's going to beat Shayna.
Definitely.
She's going to survive Shayna, I should say. Because
she's going to kick that ass.
She's going to fucking escape death because Shayna's going to fucking hurt her badly.
No, it's going to be...
Not just in kayfabe, in real life, too.
It's going to be a brawl, and I want Ember to show that she can kick ass, man. She can't be getting her shit pushed in by Baszler all the time.
This is true. I think Ember's going to win. I think Johnny Wrestling is going to win. And I pick the Undisputed to retain. I think this is Arthur Payne's last match in the NXT, by the way.
Before they go fight Cena.
No, but they'll find themselves.
He wants the match so goddamn bad.
No, they'll just find themselves in the holy hell of the what's his name? Connor and Victor. What are their names again?
Don't do that. Don't do that.
They're gonna be Connor and Victor.
Don't do that. You're being real disrespectful right now. Don't do that.
I'm just saying. Well, what's the last overly over the top strong tag team that came from NXT?
Don't do that. Need to chill. Yeah. But I agree with all the predictions, so we can wrap up.
All right. So thank you again, people, for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the rest of the part much as you enjoyed the rest. Hope you enjoyed the guest spot that my friend gave. Some awkward shit going on these days. Anyway, we will definitely see you next time on the Reason Reborn. Mr. Cardiacsumo. Damn, I am tired because I called you Pseudo. You're not Pseudo 51 or anything like that. Anyway, say goodbye to the people, sir. And do you have any book suggestions, by the way?
The Demon Haunted World by Carl Sagan. Not going to describe it. Just go read that shit. It's a beautiful book. And I'm pretty sure Magus's friend was just CGI because he's in front of that green screen. And he thought he was tricking us, but it's not flying. I don't believe it.
Whatever. People do like me.
I rolled with it just to practice my acting, but that person wasn't real. Come on. That was CGI and a voice. You're not getting me, bro. That's why when she was there, you were off screen for a second so that we wouldn't see your lips move. You're not fooling nobody, bro.
Okay, whatever, motherfucker.
In any case, good night, people. Good night, Magus, and all of his multiple personalities he's trying to fuck with.
Whatever. Anywho, thank you once again. Fuck this dude right here. And we'll see you next time on The Reason.